Okay, so a drone is buzzing through the forest. It's Ijin's recon, scoping out the area. A masked operative is setting up a mobile command post, complete with laptop and long-range rifle, clearly prepping for a serious operation. This dude's eyes are intense, like he's already locked onto a target. He's totally in the zone. The laptop screen is filled with heat signatures, showing a whole bunch of people moving through the woods, and they're all marked as targets. A team of soldiers starts moving through the forest, weapons raised, but Ijin's voice comes over the comms. Not yet. They're pushing forward, but Ijin's still holding them back. He's waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect shot. One of the soldiers takes a firing position, ready to engage, but it's a trap. Ijin's already anticipating their moves. Ijin's got his own rifle trained, and he's locked and loaded. This is about to get messy, trust me. He's taking aim, steady and precise, and you can tell he's not missing. Our boy is a straight-up legend. And boom, Ijin opens fire, initiating the operation, and honestly, these guys didn't see it coming. Ijin unleashes a furious barrage, taking down soldiers left and right. It's a total massacre, no way. He's a whirlwind of destruction, but one soldier manages to get a shot off, hitting Ijin in the head. The forest erupts with gunfire as Ijin continues fighting, mowing down enemies with insane precision. He's taking serious fire, but this dude doesn't even flinch. Ijin is a machine, straight up. Another soldier goes down, headshot, and honestly, he had it coming for trying to flank Ijin. Ijin's relentless, but one of the soldiers manages to land a shot, blasting his helmet apart. He's still standing, though our boy is practically unkillable, pushing through the pain and carnage. A soldier tries to aim, but Ijin's already there, taking him out with a single, brutal shot to the head. Boom, Ijin fires again, and another enemy explodes in a spray of blood. It's absolutely wild. He's back in position, rifle trained, scanning the trees. Ijin's not done yet, he's still hunting. Ijin's locked onto another target, scoping him out with deadly precision. This dude is a sniper now. Fires and another enemy goes down, but wait, a second sniper is taking aim at Ijin. Ijin anticipates the shot, dodging the bullet and immediately returning fire with lightning speed. The enemy sniper gets hit, but he's still standing, and now he's charging at Ijin with a knife. Ijin barely manages to block the attack, but the sniper's relentless, pushing forward with a furious assault. A second enemy joins the fray, trying to flank Ijin, but our boy is already anticipating the move. Ijin takes down the flanking soldier with a single shot, then spins and delivers a brutal elbow to the charging sniper. The sniper stumbles back wounded, but Ijin doesn't give him a chance to recover, firing again. Ijin finishes him off, then scans the forest, looking for any remaining threats. This is intense. He grits his teeth, clearly in pain, but straight up refuses to back down. Ijin is a beast. Ijin's dodging a hail of bullets, weaving through the trees like it's nothing. Seriously, this dude moves. He's crashing through the forest, pushing himself to the limit, ignoring the pain. No way he's slowing down now. He spots a group of enemies ahead, taking cover, and immediately starts lining up a shot. Time to return the favor. Ijin unleashes a rapid burst, taking down 2 soldiers instantly, but more are closing in fast. It's a firefight. He's reloading, moving, and firing all at once. A whirlwind of destruction. This is insane combat skill. Another enemy tries to flank him, but Ijin spins and lands a perfect shot, taking him out before he can react. Clean. But wait, a hidden sniper opens fire, and Ijin barely manages to duck for cover. This guy's good. Ijin returns fire, but the sniper is well hidden, forcing him to relocate and find a new angle. It's a cat and mouse game. He finally spots the sniper, takes aim and fires, hitting his target, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin scans the area, confirming the kill, and then points out the remaining enemies to his team. Our boy's still in command. Ijin keeps firing, mowing down enemies left and right. He's a one-man army right now. He's unleashing a relentless barrage, but they keep coming, and it's getting chaotic. Ijin's taking heavy fire, bullets ricocheting off his armor. This is getting seriously dangerous. He drops to a knee, returning fire, taking out another enemy, but more are still advancing. No breather for our boy. Ijin's weaving through the gunfire, a blur of motion, and he's moving to flank them. Smart move. He takes out 2 more soldiers with precise shots, but a grenade lands nearby. Oh no. Ijin throws a smoke grenade, creating cover, then dashes forward. He's getting out of there. But the explosion still rocks the forest, sending debris flying. That was a close one. He's regrouping, assessing the damage, and then spots a lone soldier. Time for a quick takedown. Ijin finishes off the last enemy, then scans the area. He's cleared the zone for now. Ijin confirms the area is clear, but another enemy peeks out. No rest for the wicked, seriously. He immediately takes the shot, dropping the enemy, and yells clear to his teammate. Total pro move. His teammate starts moving, but Ijin scans the forest and spots another hidden soldier. This dude's got eyes everywhere. Ijin raises his weapon, lining up a shot while his teammate continues to advance. They're working together like a well-oiled machine. He fires, taking out the new target, and calls out lift to his teammate, straight up commanding the battlefield. His teammate returns fire, taking down another enemy, and Ijin keeps scanning. They're cleaning house. But wait, another enemy appears in the distance, and Ijin's already locked on. This guy's a machine. Ijin fires and the enemy goes down, but he's covered in blood. This mission is brutal, no doubt. He checks the perimeter, making sure everything is secure, and then adjusts his gear, always prepared. Ijin scans the area one last time, and this dude looks seriously focused. He's a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so class is starting and everyone's settling in, but the focus is on Ijin and Seokju. They are about to become security for SW. A guy walks up to Ijin, asking if the rumors are true about them taking the gig, and Ijin's being all mysterious, saying he's not sure. But then another student, this dude named Keeban, straight up admits he's jealous they're getting special treatment. Keeban keeps going, saying it must be nice to already know what you want in life, which is kinda hitting Ijin right in the feels. Ijin looks totally caught off guard by that comment, questioning everything like, what does he want? He's about to dwell on it but decides to peace out, telling everyone to have fun, which feels a little off. As Ijin leaves, Keeban's trying to act cool, but he's clearly bummed about the whole situation. Girl tries to stop Keeban, but he's already making a beeline after Ijin, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Keeban's all up in Ijin's space, and it's clear he's about to start something, and it's so awkward. The girl catches up, but she's mostly focused on what Keeban is saying, and the tension is building, bro. Keeban's going OFF, accusing Ijin of missing his ult, whatever that is, a few times now, no way. He tries to pin the blame on Yongchen, but Ijin straight up snaps, telling him he's the one who sucks. Ijin's yelling he's only human, and things escalate fast. Everyone's losing it, bro. Meanwhile, two other guys are watching, and one points out Ijin seems anxious recently, which, yeah, no kidding. We get a quick close-up of one of the guys, and he's giving off some serious vibes. This dude is up to something. The girl from earlier is smiling sweetly, but it's kinda creepy, honestly. She tells them she needs to meet with her grandfather and Daein, but her motives are definitely sus. The girl's crying, but she's still looking at the other guy. What is happening here? She's apologizing, but it feels super forced, and this whole situation is giving me bad vibes. But honestly, something's definitely off with her, and Ijin is walking right into it. Ijin asks what Yi-hyun wants to do after graduation, and the girl's eyes widen. She's totally shocked. She blurts out Yi-hyun's grandfather is the chairman of Jaehae Motors, and Ijin's expression changes instantly. Girl adds Yi-hyun is the youngest sibling, and Ijin's face is unreadable. Something's up with this convo. Suddenly, another guy bursts in, looking freaked out, and everyone turns to see what's wrong. The girl's still staring at Ijin, but she's trying to play it cool, and it's super awkward. She says they should all focus on their futures, and then casually drops that Hyukjin is taking over his dad's business. She continues, saying Yi-hyun is taking time to figure things out, but her explanation feels off, you know. The girl claims Yi-hyun's answer didn't surprise her, saying he always takes things slow, but her smile is kinda creepy. She's giving off major something's wrong vibes, and Ijin looks like he's starting to realize it too. She's staring intently at Ijin, and her eyes are intense. This isn't a normal conversation, bro. The girl explains she wants a job straight out of high school to let her grandpa rest. She's been carrying him for years. Ijin looks confused, asking what she means, but Yi-hyun's grandpa suddenly appears and things get awkward fast. She explains her grandpa's been working tirelessly because of her, and she wants to finally ease his burden. It's a sweet motive. Ijin asks if she's talked to her grandpa about this, and Yi-hyun chimes in, revealing they already discussed it. But the girl's expression shifts and she says she'll still get a job regardless. Something's definitely up with her now. Yi-hyun tells Ijin to think things through and she's staring at him intensely like she's reading his mind. She's getting all up in Ijin's personal space and Yi-hyun's expression is unreadable. This is getting creepy. Yi-hyun says now that you've got me and his vibe completely changes. Bro is about to unleash something. This dude's face is all dark and intense and the girl looks totally shocked like she didn't see this coming. However, the girl recovers quickly and it's clear she's hiding something and Ijin is definitely picking up on it. Ijin confirms what we all know. Yi-hyun is totally hiding something and bro isn't spilling. The girl gives a creepy smile and it's clear she's playing a game with them both. No way. They start walking and the girl suddenly grabs Ijin's hand, pulling him along. Talk about a power move. Ijin looks shocked but he doesn't pull away and the girl's face is unreadable. What is she planning? They pass Yi-hyun's grandpa and the girl sweetly says goodbye but her eyes are still locked on Ijin. Yi-hyun's grandpa tells them to get home safely and Ijin's instincts are screaming something's off. The security guards are watching them go and one of them seems strangely interested in Ijin, suspicious. The girl asks Ijin if he's really okay with everything, but it's a loaded question and she's clearly fishing for info. Ijin tries to play it cool, saying he's fine, but she doesn't believe him and honestly, he's right to be wary. She insists she's being honest, but her eyes say otherwise. This girl is a master manipulator and Ijin's walking right into it. The security guard is watching Ijin and the girl and he thinks they're getting bigger, like baby birds about to fly the coop. But then his face changes like he suddenly remembers something and he looks seriously confused. He stares right at Ijin and it's clear he recognizes him, but from where? This is getting intense. The guard starts grilling Ijin, asking if he's a student, but Ijin keeps his answers short and sweet. However, the guard isn't buying it. He's convinced Ijin is hiding something and he's not letting it go. Okay, so someone straight up wiped out an entire camp and this guy is not happy about it. He's staring out the window at the city, and honestly, the vibe is super ominous right now. He wonders why the brawl even started, but our boy isn't interested in details, just results. This dude declares that anyone messing with Mad Dog is getting erased, no questions asked. He's all about preventing failure, and honestly, it's a little creepy how calm he is. Suddenly, chaos erupts, someone's getting lit up with bullets, it's a total bloodbath. The guy with an eye patch is unloading a whole clip, and it's not pretty, trust me. No way, the room is getting sprayed with blood. It's absolutely insane. The shooter fires again, and the scene is just a mess of red and metal. Bang, another shot rings out, and it's clear this dude isn't messing around. The eye patch guy drops his gun, but our boy is already moving, a blur of speed towards the shooter. No way, the masked attacker is spinning around, gun raised, trying to catch our boy in his sights. He fires, but this dude is fast, dodging the bullets with an impossible move. He slams into the attacker, sending him reeling, and honestly, this dude had it coming. The attacker is down, but still trying to fight. He's pulling another gun, a desperate move. Our boy grabs the gun mid-draw, and it's a brutal struggle, a close-quarters fight for control. He wrenches the gun away, then delivers a devastating blow, and the attacker is completely out. Our boy spins around, still hyped up and is ready for more, but there's no one left standing. He's breathing hard, adrenaline pumping, and this whole situation is seriously intense right now. Our boy is covered in blood, but he's still standing, breathing heavily after that fight. He realizes they tracked him quickly, like immediately after the fight, and that's not good. He glances at a mirror and wow, he looks rough, covered in blood and grime. This dude is seriously assessing the damage, taking in the full extent of the chaos. He clutches the gun tightly, still on edge, knowing they'll be back for more. Our boy looks exhausted, but he's already bracing for another attack. It's insane. He's staring into the distance, a determined look on his face. He's ready to fight again. He's thinking about the mission, about what comes next, and it's clear this is far from over. The intensity in his eyes is unreal. This dude is a straight-up machine. He stares off into the distance, a silent promise of retribution hanging in the air. He can't believe he's running for his life, like seriously, after everything he's been through. Our boy is remembering OOI, blaming him for all of this, and it's clear this is personal. He's furious, eyes narrowed and straight up quivering with rage. This dude is about to unleash hell. Then the scene cuts to a rainy street, and it's like, whoa, a total mood shift. He's exhausted, leaning against a railing, trying to catch his breath after the fight. He gets a notification on his phone, an email, and it's super suspicious, honestly. He's staring at the screen, and you can tell something is seriously wrong with this message. This dude is clearly conflicted, trying to process what's happening, and it's a tense moment. He's back in the rain, soaking wet, and for some reason, he's heading toward the source of the trouble. But the scene fades to black and we're left hanging, no way cliffhanger ending. Ijin gets a text from Yuna asking to meet near his place and he just doesn't respond, bro. He's brooding, clearly lost in thought about whatever just went down, and honestly, it's intense. He finally starts walking, heading towards Yuna, but he looks seriously troubled, like something's eating at him. He arrives at the convenience store and Yuna's already there, smiling and waving. She looks totally oblivious. Ijin apologizes for texting so late, but Yuna brushes it off, asking if he was up getting ready for bed. Then bam, he's bombarded with a pile of snacks. Yuna straight up bought all his usuals, what a mood. But the sweetness doesn't last. He cuts to the chase, asking why she wanted to meet, and the vibe shifts immediately. She says she's been worried, hinting she knows something is off with him, and our boy is visibly tense. He tries to play it cool, saying everything's fine, but she doesn't buy it for a second. She's relentless. However, Ijin quickly changes the subject, demanding to know why she wanted to meet, and things are about to get real. Yuna reveals everyone's stressed about their future, but then straight up says it's just Yeonshin, talk about a burn. This dude, Yeonshin, is munching on a rice ball, totally unfazed, while Ijin looks like he wants to disappear. A woman with long brown hair smirks, clearly enjoying the awkwardness. She's definitely stirring the pot. A shadowy figure lurks in the background, staring intently at Ijin and Yuna, and something feels seriously off. Yuna asks if Ijin really thinks it's just Yeonshin, and our boy just stares her down, refusing to answer. Ijin's face is unreadable, but Yuna is clearly trying to figure out what he's hiding, and the tension is insane. However, Ijin just avoids the question, and now Yuna's looking genuinely concerned. This is about to explode. Okay, so Jinwoo's sister, Juwon, is meeting with this woman, and she's straight up laying down the law about Jinwoo's future. Juwon is all about making sure Jinwoo gets a normal life, but this lady is clearly not buying it. She's got her suspicions. Juwon insists Jinwoo is just happy to be back in school, but the woman sees right through that, knowing something's off with our boy. Meanwhile, some blonde dude is lurking around, clearly watching Juwon. This is getting shady fast, bro. He's got this intense stare like he's planning something, and honestly, it's super creepy. Juwon and the woman are still talking, and now they're discussing someone else, a guy named Choi Jinwoo, no less. The blonde dude is getting closer, and he's clearly fixated on Juwon. No way this is just a coincidence. He's staring straight at her, and you can see the tension building. This is about to go down. Juwon's shirt is getting pulled, and she's getting uncomfortable. Something is definitely happening. The dude is close enough now that we can see his eyes, and they're full of something, but it's definitely not good. Juwon is totally spacing out, staring into nothing, and her coworker is asking if something's wrong. The coworker points out Juwon's been zoning out for ages, and she just brushes it off, super sus. Juwon claims nothing is happening, but we all know she's hiding something, and her coworker sees right through it. Suddenly, a bunch of little ghost dogs start floating around the room. What is going on? Someone shouts sorry, and the ghostly pups swarm around, but it's a distraction. Something's definitely up. The coworker is giving Juwon the side eye, clearly not believing her act, and it's getting intense. A sleek, dark car pulls up outside, and it's straight up menacing. This is where things get real. The car speeds towards them, and the sound effect room is all we need to know this isn't friendly. Door opens, and a dude steps out, looking sharp, but also kinda cold. This is a power move. He's walking towards Juwon and her coworker, and honestly, this feels like a setup. Juwon tries to text Ijin about apples, but changes her mind. Something's clearly bothering her. Ijin's coworker asks if there's someone he's interested in, and our boy looks totally caught off guard. He tries to play it cool, but his eyes are darting around. He's definitely hiding something. The coworker presses him, and Ijin's face is giving away nothing, which just makes it worse. Suddenly, the car tilts, and everyone inside is thrown off balance. What the heck is going on? Ijin's coworker is looking at Juwon with suspicion, and she's trying to act natural, but failing. Ijin's coworker is giving Ju-won the side eye, and it's clear she thinks Ju-won is up to no good. Ijin's coworker is questioning Ju-won, but she's deflecting. This is getting awkward fast. The coworker is getting increasingly suspicious, and Ijin is just sitting there, watching the drama unfold. Ijin's coworker is starting to connect the dots, and it looks like Ju-won's secrets are about to be exposed. Ju-won tells Ijin he's too young to be so focused on work and not having fun. Ouch, direct hit. Ijin straight up says he doesn't see it as a waste, but his coworker is giving him the death stare. Ju-won leans in close to Ijin, asking what he means, and her eyes are locked on his. Things are tense. Ijin looks away, but Ju-won doesn't break eye contact, and she's clearly picking up on something off. Suddenly, explosions rock the car, and it's absolute chaos. No way in ambush. The car spins out of control, and Ijin instinctively grabs his gun, ready for war. Ijin's coworker is hit with shrapnel, and it looks bad. This dude had it coming, honestly. Ijin shields Ju-won with his body, and his expression is pure fury. He's gonna unleash hell. He opens fire, taking out the attackers with terrifying precision. Our boy is a machine. But amidst the gunfire, Ijin's eyes narrow, realizing something's wrong with this attack. It's a setup. Ijin's still unloading on the attackers, but he realizes this isn't a random hit. Someone wanted Ju-won gone. He scans the wreckage and spots a familiar symbol on one of the vehicles. It's the Blackwood Group, no doubt about it. Ijin's coworker is barely hanging on, and Ju-won is shaken up, but our boy is already calculating his next move. He's got Ju-won out of the car and is dragging her towards cover while continuing to lay down suppressive fire. This dude doesn't stop. But Ijin stops dead in his tracks because he's picked up on something else. Another team is flanking them, closing in fast. He's gotta make a choice, protect Ju-won or deal with the new threat, and honestly, he's trying to do both at once. Ju-won surprisingly tells him to go, saying she can handle herself, but Ijin isn't buying it. She's scared, bro. He leaves her with his coworker, telling her to stay put, and then he's launching himself into the fray, a one-man army. Ijin's taking down Blackwood soldiers left and right, but it's clear they're expecting him, and they're prepared for a fight. Ju-won is staring after Ijin, whispering to herself if she deserves this, and it's a total mood. She's clearly got a past. Ju-won and her coworker are chatting about Yi-hyung, and he apparently promised them a hangout spot. Sounds cozy. But then Ju-won asks if they've heard anything from him, and her coworker admits he hasn't said a word. Ju-won presses it, asking if Yi-hyung didn't even mention it to him either. Something's definitely off. Suddenly, Ijin turns, giving Ju-won's coworker a look. This dude is about to unleash a storm. He's staring directly at someone, and you can see the rage building behind his eyes. No way this is good. Ijin's face is getting seriously menacing, a dark aura practically radiating from him. Oh, this is gonna be intense. Car speeds away, and it's clear Ijin is fixated on it. He knows exactly who sent those hitmen. He's already piecing things together, realizing the attack was planned, and someone is deliberately targeting those around him. But he's not just letting it slide. Ijin is already planning his retaliation, and it's going to be brutal. And honestly, whoever sent those guys is about to regret everything. Our boy is not playing around. This dude walks into the room and immediately starts sizing up the situation, saying he sees how well the other guy is living. He mentions the guy has friends and even a pet, but then drops this cryptic hint about forgetting his past. Our boy straight up calls him out, saying he's living a fake life and avoiding what happened before. They start throwing around code names 006, 005, 032, trying to figure out who leaked info, but it's getting intense. The guy in the suit insists nobody talks under torture, but our boy isn't buying it and knows something's off. He reveals he used a foreign language he heard the guy speak when he first arrived at the camp to track him down. Our boy lays it all out. He found out the guy was alive and started searching, and the language was his first clue. The guy's face falls and he looks genuinely shocked. No way he expected this level of investigation. But here's the kicker, our boy knows what he's thinking and declares he's wrong about something big. He's here for payback, and he's promising to deliver it himself with a cold, intense stare. This dude claims it's serious business for them, whatever that means, but our boy isn't impressed. The guy in the suit stays silent, and honestly, it's super sus, like he's planning something. A hooded figure steps into the light, and you can tell this is about to go down fast. Our boy raises his hand, signaling the suit to stay back, but he's already drawing a knife. He's gripping that blade tight, and you can see the steel glinting. This isn't a friendly chat anymore. The hooded figure reveals he's the one who guided the suit, and that's a huge red flag right there. He declares he'll be the one to end this guy's life, then dashes forward with incredible speed. The suit tries to react, but the hooded figure is already swinging. It's a full-on attack. Our boy leaps to intercept, knives flashing, and the scene explodes in a blur of motion. It's insane. He's deflecting the attack with his own blade, but the hooded figure is relentless, pushing forward with everything he's got. The hooded figure slices at our boy, drawing blood. It's a brutal attack straight up. But our boy is a pro. He's already dodging and countering with his own knife, a whirlwind of steel. He grabs the hooded figure's arm, attempting to disarm him, but this dude is seriously strong. The hooded figure delivers a powerful blow, sending our boy flying backwards. No way. He crashes to the floor, clutching his side, and the hooded figure moves in for the kill. Our boy manages to roll and raise his knife, but the hooded figure is already looming over him. He's scrambling back, trying to create some distance, but the hooded figure is relentless. The hooded figure demands to know what our boy thinks he's doing, sounding seriously menacing. Our boy, wounded, manages to grip his knife tighter. He's not going down without a fight. However, the hooded figure reveals he could have ended it easily, but wanted to draw things out. This dude is straight up threatening to kill everyone our boy cares about, starting with a little girl. But our boy isn't backing down. He grits his teeth and prepares to strike, eyes blazing with fury. He lunges forward with incredible speed, knife aimed right for the hooded figure's throat. It's a lightning-fast attack. The hooded figure intercepts and the blades clash, sending sparks flying. It's a brutal, close-quarters battle. Our boy manages to slash his opponent's arm, drawing a gush of blood, but the hooded figure barely flinches. He goes for another strike and another, but the hooded figure deflects each one with unnerving ease. This guy is good. The hooded figure counters, slicing across our boy's shoulder. Ouch, that looks painful, but he barely reacts. However, the hooded figure's next attack lands and a spray of blood erupts. It's a deep, vicious cut. He keeps pressing the attack and blood splatters everywhere, painting the scene a terrifying crimson. It's intense. But our boy isn't giving up. He's fighting through the pain, determined to protect those he cares about. What a beast. The hooded figure grabs our boy's wrist and it cracks. No way, that looks brutal. He's slashing at the hooded figure's arm, but the blade glances off. This dude is tough. Our boy swings again, aiming for the head, but the hooded figure smacks the blade aside, sending blood flying. He tries to land a punch, but the hooded figure just grabs his hand, tightening his grip. It's a power move. The hooded figure's grip intensifies and our boy's hand starts to buckle. He's really squeezing hard. He's reeling back, face contorted in pain, but the hooded figure's expression is chillingly calm. Our boy is getting thrown backward, crashing into something, a full-on body slam. However, he's not down for long, already trying to get back up, despite being covered in blood. The hooded figure's knife is now broken, blade shattered on the floor. Talk about a power level difference. The hooded figure grabs our boy again, and honestly, this dude is playing with his food. Our boy is getting absolutely wrecked, but he manages to kick the hooded figure away, a brutal move. He slides across the floor, trying to create some distance, and straight up huffs from the effort. The hooded figure drops some serious truth. Apparently, the numbers followed our boy's lead. He's covered in blood, but our boy is already back on his feet, glaring at the hooded figure. The hooded figure doesn't care that they were jerks. He's saying they went through hell together. Our boy is silent, staring the hooded figure down. This is getting intense. He finally speaks up, saying if the hooded figure had any regrets, he'd hear them. Suddenly, the scene shifts. Someone is lying on a couch, looking seriously injured. The hooded figure asks who on earth did this, a total plot twist. And honestly, this whole situation is a mess, and we need answers ASAP. This dude is straight up drowning his sorrows at a bar, surrounded by empty bottles and a gloomy vibe. He's clearly replaying something in his head, something heavy, and it's got him seriously messed up. But hold up, he's flashing back to seeing someone he thought was a comrade go absolutely berserk with a gun. Now our boy is walking, lost in thought, wondering what the heck that guy's life was like before all this. He's stepping forward, trying to piece it together, but it's like wading through a nightmare, seriously. A beat later, a bloodied figure stumbles into view. It's the same guy from the flashback looking wrecked. This dude asks if he's okay, and honestly, it's a weirdly calm question considering the circumstances. The wounded man manages a weak go and keeps walking, still reeling from whatever just happened. Our mercenary steps forward, questioning everything, what's going on with this guy. However, the guy finally responds with a simple thank you, leaving our boy even more confused. Our boy's back at home and it's almost 10 p.m. He's seriously trying to shake off that encounter. He pours himself a drink, but honestly, it doesn't seem to be helping him relax at all. He's staring intensely into space, clearly replaying everything that just happened. Bro is deep in thought. But then he suddenly remembers something, a detail about the wounded man's past that's bugging him. He flashes back to a playground scene, seeing the man with a family, a normal life before everything went sideways. However, the flashback cuts short, and our boy is back in the present, even more confused than before. He's pacing around trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this guy and his connection to the past. Suddenly, he notices a light on in a nearby room, someone's still awake, and it's definitely not right. He cautiously approaches and no way, he sees a figure lying in bed, completely motionless under the covers. But it's not just lying there, it's bleeding. This dude is straight up walking into a nightmare. Our boy's sister Jiwoo finds him covered in blood. She's seriously worried and asks if he's okay. She stares at him completely freaked out and asks what kind of fight he even got into. He just stares back, lost in thought. It was a bad fight, but he's not saying anything yet. Then Jiwoo suddenly recognizes the guy he was with. It's Ijin, her childhood friend. She's shocked and rushes forward, trying to push him inside, clearly wanting to protect him. Ijin tries to resist, but Jiwoo is determined. She's pushing him into the room, no questions asked. She demands to know what happened, and he finally admits it was a really rough fight. He confirms it was bad, like really bad, but doesn't give her any details just yet. Jiwoo is still concerned, staring intently at him, trying to read his expression. She's a protective sister for sure. And then she blurts out, "Is that you, Ijin?" She's finally putting the pieces together, and it's a huge moment. Ijin's brother is livid, standing in the doorway with a bloody face and a seriously menacing glare. He drops a bomb. Jiwoo is family, just like Ijin, and he's clearly protective of her. Here's the twist, he's not talking about Jiwoo being related to Ijin, he means she's part of his crew. He's laying down the law, telling Ijin he needs to protect Jiwoo at all costs, no matter what. Ijin's brother isn't messing around, he's demanding answers about what happened, and he wants them now. Ijin tries to explain, but his brother cuts him off, revealing he already knows Ijin was protecting someone. However, this dude isn't interested in details, he just wants to make sure Ijin understands the stakes. He's warning Ijin that protecting Jiwoo means becoming a target too. It's a dangerous game. Ijin's brother delivers a cold, intense stare. He's letting Ijin know he's watching him closely. Then he drops another line, "Jiwoo is family, just like you are," and honestly, the tension is insane. Ijin and his brother start walking, and the atmosphere is thick with unspoken tension. You can cut it with a knife. His brother reveals there are others after Ijin, and he's totally off the radar. No way that's good. They're worried about OOI and the others, knowing they need to find them too. This is getting intense. Ijin's brother is straight up laying down the rules, demanding Ijin protect Jiwoo no matter what happens. They walk and walk, each step echoing the weight of everything going on. It's a slow burn of suspense. Ijin's brother points out that Jiwoo is family, just like him, but it's not about blood, it's about loyalty. Ijin finally agrees and his brother seems to accept it, saying all right, a small victory maybe. They reach the docks, the scene lit by a single lighthouse. It's a classic setup for something to go down. But just when you think they're going to talk, Ijin's brother rolls up his sleeve, showing a serious arm injury. And honestly, that injury looks bad, hinting at a fight he just barely survived. This dude is a beast. Okay, so Ijin's brother spots a familiar face, Yongchen, and looks totally thrown, like what is he doing here? His brother asks what's wrong, and Yongchen explains he's been worried about Ijin, thinking he's been stressed. Yongchen says everyone seems preoccupied, but then realizes Ijin and his brother are just heading out. Suspicious, right? Ijin's brother brushes it off, saying it's different for them, but honestly, the way he says it feels like a warning. Yongchen looks confused, asking what they are up to, and Ijin's brother just responds with a simple huh, so evasive. Suddenly, Ijin's brother stops dead in his tracks, his face going completely blank, and it's clear something's up. He whips around, staring intensely at someone off-panel, and bro, you can feel the tension building. This is about to pop off. This dude is clearly surprised, his eyes wide, and he starts to speak, but whatever he says is cut short. No way, this is good. Ijin's brother demands to know what he's doing, and his expression is icy, straight up threatening, and it's awesome. School's starting and everyone's waiting for Yeonchin, but he's a no-show, straight up vanishing before lunch. It's Teenage Mercenary chapter 126, and things are already getting weird with our boy missing. Ijin is in class looking all serious, while everyone else is clearly worried about where Yeonchin is at. Hana asks where Yeonchin is, and the class president's already thinking something bad happened to him. Bro's got a point. The class president starts checking his phone, diving into their group chat to see if anyone's heard from Yeonchin. He's scrolling through LOL bandwagon. No way, this dude's checking League of Legends during an emergency. We cut to Ijin's room, which is surprisingly tidy, and he's getting a cup of hot tea from his dad. His dad's offering the tea and Ijin's accepting it, a sweet family moment, but something feels off. Suddenly, Ijin's phone buzzes with a message asking if Yeonchin is coming to school, and honestly, it's a little too convenient. Ijin's taking the tea, but something's definitely brewing. This isn't a cozy scene, it's a setup. Ijin claims he's just tired, but his dad sees right through it. No one gets a fever that high from just being tired, bro. His dad points out this is the first time he's ever closed the restaurant when sick, and straight up reminds him he always pushes through. Ijin admits he's worried about raising his dad all alone, which is a heavy thing for a kid to deal with. His dad gets a total jolt, clearly surprised by that confession. It's a real emotional moment. He tells Ijin to focus on school and after-school academy, but honestly, the dad's got a way of being intense. Then he asks about Ijin's studies, and our boy looks away, clearly not wanting to answer. Uh-oh. Ijin mumbles something about doing okay, but his face says otherwise. He's definitely hiding something. However, his dad cuts him off, saying as long as he's trying his best, that's all that matters. And then boom, his dad offers to cover all of Ijin's college tuition, no questions asked, and Ijin's just stunned. Ijin finally says okay, but he looks totally overwhelmed. This whole conversation is a lot for him to process. Ijin's in class and the teacher is writing out what looks like a novel on the chalkboard. It's intense. While the teacher talks, another student is clearly spiraling, staring at his work with a ton of stress. This dude is seriously worried about tuition fees piling up and whether graduating even guarantees success. He's thinking about getting a job instead, and honestly, it's a relatable mood. However, he's also super jealous of his classmates who seem to have their futures already figured out. He feels like no one understands what he's going through, and it's a really vulnerable moment. Ijin's looking at his phone and he's getting bombarded with messages from his friends. They are worried sick. He realizes he totally forgot to reply, which is so Ijin, always focused on the mission, even when he shouldn't be. And then we see a younger student getting left behind, looking a little lost and sad. It's a rough scene. Ijin walks away and you can just feel the weight of everything on his shoulders. This is getting heavy, bro. This stressed out kid apologizes, but the older guy straight up doesn't believe him. He looks so smug. The older guy's buddy tells him to chill, saying he's scaring the younger student, but he just keeps grinning. The smug dude calls out the kid for not looking sorry, pointing out the fake look on his face, harsh. Everyone's looking at Ijin and he's getting seriously uncomfortable with all the tension. It's building up. Suddenly, this dude pushes the younger student, no way, and Ijin's eyes lock onto the action. Ijin's already moving and the older guys are glancing at him. They're about to regret everything. Ijin's walking forward with a serious glare, and the curly-haired kid is right behind him, looking fired up. We get a close-up of their feet as they stride forward, signaling they're about to confront these bullies. The older guys look surprised, as Ijin and the others close in and things are about to explode. Ijin's face is stone cold, and you just know this dude is about to unleash his mercenary skills. Ijin throws a punch and it connects hard, straight up sends the guy flying, bro. The impact sends a shockwave and the orange-haired kid is ready to jump in if things get worse. The smug dude is reeling, clutching his jaw, and honestly, he had it coming. We get a close-up of the orange-haired kid. He looks furious, and Ijin's face is a total ice block. The older guy tries to play it cool, mumbling an apology, but it's super unconvincing. He tries to walk away, thinking he can just brush this off, but Ijin isn't letting that happen. Ijin grabs him and the guy's face drops. He realizes he messed with the wrong person. The orange-haired kid asks why they left him on read, and Ijin's friend looks shocked. What's going on? Ijin's friend explains he was busy, about to text them, but the others look skeptical. The orange-haired kid scoffs, clearly not buying it, and the tension is still thick in the air. Ijin's friend asks if it's because he got wrapped up in pushing Ijin to stream, and the dude looks confused. The orange-haired kid is speechless, like completely shut down, and his eyes are wide with shock. He stammers, asking if Ijin thinks he pressured him into streaming, but the orange-haired guy cuts him off. The orange-haired dude straight up tells him not to feel pressured, and to just try it when he has time. Ijin's friend is still reeling, clearly not understanding what just happened, and looks totally lost. The orange-haired guy is super chill, like he's used to diffusing tense situations. This dude is a pro. Ijin's friend looks up, still processing everything, and honestly, the relief on his face is real. Okay, so Ijin and his sister are walking down the street, and everyone assumes he's joining the security force. The plot twist, he straight up tells everyone he has no intention of joining, shocking the heck out of them. He's explaining that he never even considered it, and everyone's trying to process this information. One guy admits they all just figured he'd join because he trained so hard. Like, seriously, bro. His sister's not thrilled, giving him a major side-eye, while another girl seems equally surprised. Another dude chimes in, seeing they spent a lot of time together and expected him to sign up. Then another person jumps in, admitting they were totally shocked he didn't even think about it. Ijin's just standing there looking all stoic while everyone's spilling their assumptions. And honestly, this dude had it coming. Everyone thought he was a shoo-in for the security force. But he's sticking to his guns, and it's clear he's got his own plans, which is kinda awesome. Okay, so Ijin and his sister part ways, and he heads toward this rundown building. It's giving bad vibes. He enters, and it's instantly clear this place is a makeshift clinic filled with injured people. Someone yells that they lost 2 members today, and the atmosphere is seriously heavy. It's grim, bro. Ijin asks what happened, and they explain they were ambushed during a supply run. No way. They're all beat up, covered in cuts and bruises, and just generally looking miserable in the rain. One guy wonders if they'll even make it out of there alive, and honestly, it sounds hopeless. Another soldier is sobbing, clearly traumatized, while everyone else just looks defeated. Ijin stands there watching all this, and you can tell he's processing everything, but he's stone-faced. He starts to ask if they need help, but then someone interrupts. This could be huge, guys. Turns out they're short on medical supplies and personnel, and Ijin just volunteered himself. What a legend. Ijin's just calmly assessing the situation, but the guys are staring at him like he's a ghost. They are definitely suspicious. One of them straight up asks what Ijin does for work, and our boy doesn't even hesitate to say nothing. The guy doesn't buy it for a second and presses him, but Ijin just gives him a cold stare and shuts it down. The tension is insane. These guys are hardened soldiers, and they can tell Ijin is hiding something huge. Ijin starts patching up the wounded, and his skill is unreal. He's moving so fast, it's like watching a surgeon. They're all shocked at how quickly he's working, and one guy admits he's never seen anything like it. He's bandaging wounds and stabilizing injuries, and honestly, it's a total 180 from the savage fights we've seen. But the leader is still skeptical, watching Ijin's every move. He's clearly trying to figure out what's going on. Ijin finishes treating everyone, and it's clear he's a pro, but the leader's still got questions. This is getting intense. The leader demands to know where Ijin learned those skills, and our boy just gives him a chillingly blank stare. Okay, so word gets out that Chairman Andrew is heading to Korea, and everyone is losing it. Ijin's boss is asking what this means for them and SW, but he's already figuring it out. Other companies are in total chaos because if Andrew signs with SW, their position is toast. Ijin's boss is seriously questioning if Andrew is trying to sabotage them, and he looks pissed. He's clenching his fist, and you can tell this dude is about to explode. The tension is real. He orders them to contact Forrest immediately, like he's prepping for war. No way. Ijin's boss is completely losing it, convinced Andrew is declaring war on them. And honestly, that clenched fist looks like he's about to punch a hole through the desk. He's demanding they get Forrest on the line. This is straight up a crisis situation. Ijin's boss is a powder keg right now, and things are about to get messy. Ijin's boss is laying down the law. He wants a full report on Andrew Vorey's skills, ASAP. He's making it clear this isn't just about business, it's about understanding who they're dealing with. Andrew Vorey finally arrives and the whole place goes silent. This dude commands respect, no doubt. Ijin's boss explains Andrew will be bringing his own security, but SW will provide extra support, just in case. He clicks a remote and a presentation starts. It's all about Andrew's family and their influence. Apparently, Andrew's family is a huge deal and could seriously impact SW's weapon export business. A different executive is looking skeptical, like he doesn't trust Andrew at all. Ijin's boss is trying to reassure everyone, explaining they've vetted Andrew thoroughly. However, that executive is still convinced something's off. He's not buying it for a second. And honestly, this dude's gut feeling is probably right, knowing how things usually go with our buy. Okay, so Andrew and his crew arrive, and it's all handshakes and forced smiles, super awkward. Andrew's family is basically royalty, and they're here to talk weapon deals, but Ijin's boss is playing it cool. Andrew's wife shows up, and she's immediately sizing up the situation. This woman is definitely not to be messed with. She straight up tells them they're here for business and personal time, which is a little sus, honestly. Andrew's wife knows Ijin's boss is putting him in a tough spot, and she calls him out on it. But Ijin's boss is unfazed and calmly responds that he's aware of the situation. She gives a look that says we'll see about that, and I'm getting major villain vibes. Now the whole group is moving deeper into the mansion. It's all ornate rooms and fancy chandeliers. They're headed towards what looks like a private study, and you just know something's about to go down. Honestly, this feels like a trap. Ijin needs to be ready for anything. Okay, so Andrew's wife casually asks about Ijin's boss's health, but she's totally fishing for info about his mercenary days. Okay, so our boy Ijin and his crew roll up to this super traditional building, looking all serious. They're walking through the courtyard, and Ijin's got this icy blonde woman with him. Things are tense. This woman is rocking a weird outfit, but she's definitely got Ijin's attention. He's glancing over at her. Ijin and the blonde are walking together, and he's turning to look at her. Something is up. There's a guy in a suit trailing behind them, looking all suspicious, like he expects trouble. Suddenly, a whirlwind of energy appears, and it's heading straight for the blonde woman. She's completely surprised, but someone's handing her a giant, fluffy pink cloud of cotton candy. No way. Her eyes are sparkling. She's totally mesmerized by this cotton candy, and it's a little unsettling. She's staring at the cotton candy, and it's like all her worries just vanished. It's kinda cute. But honestly, that cotton candy just appeared out of nowhere, and I have a bad feeling about it. Ijin is still staring at the blonde, and she's handing him a cotton candy. It's a weird power move. She's got this soft look on her face, but Ijin is clearly analyzing her, like he's sizing up an opponent. They're walking side by side now, both holding these massive cotton candies, and it's seriously messing with my head. The cotton candy is huge, like ridiculously oversized, and it's blocking half the frame. What is this foreshadowing? Ijin's got this intense expression, and the blonde is looking down, almost shy, totally unexpected. But wait, someone's watching them from inside a fancy building. Definitely not a coincidence. They're commenting on how good of a time Ijin and the blonde are having. However, it's clearly making someone nervous. We get a glimpse inside the building, and it's all sleek offices and shadowy figures. This is getting shady. The blonde is leaning into Ijin, and he doesn't even flinch. Our boy is unfazed, as always. Ijin is straight up ignoring everyone around him, completely focused on the blonde. This dude is a mystery. Someone's observing Ijin and the blonde, and they're clearly not thrilled with this blossoming friendship. The observer, a woman with blonde hair, points at Ijin, explaining to someone else that he seems to be enjoying himself. She's worried Ijin wouldn't have fun at just tourist spots, but the guides and bodyguards catered to the blonde's tastes. Another woman, dark-haired and intense, overhears this and straight up smirks. She's definitely plotting something. She wonders what Ijin could possibly offer, but then realizes the chairman is just happy his daughter is having fun. But after hearing the blonde's story, the dark-haired woman understands why the chairman is so grateful. Now someone else is watching from the shadows, and they look seriously unhappy about the whole situation. The blonde is talking about the trip, and it's clear she's had a good time. Ijin is totally captivated. Ijin is nodding along, listening intently, while the blonde continues to share her experience. However, the shadowy figure just stares, completely silent, and you know this isn't over. Ijin is walking through the halls, and he's clearly replaying everything that just happened. Bro is deep in thought. The dark-haired woman is watching him, and she's convinced Ijin's preparation is the key to everything. She tells someone that Ijin will do well tomorrow too, and the bodyguard responds with a respectful yes, ma'am. Ijin continues walking, and he's joined by the blonde and his bodyguard. They're making a serious power move. However, the dark-haired woman is still suspicious, and she's clearly not buying the whole friendly outing act. The blonde and Ijin are walking side by side, and honestly, it's kinda intimidating. They look like they own the place. Ijin keeps his gaze forward, and you can tell he's focused on the task at hand. This dude doesn't miss a thing. The blonde is smiling, and Ijin seems to be subtly acknowledging her presence. Their dynamic is so weird, but kinda cool. Someone is watching them from the shadows, and they're not happy. This is about to get messy. I can feel it. But the blonde is clearly enjoying herself, and Ijin is paying attention, so maybe things aren't as bad as they seem. Ijin straight up tells them he can't relax if he wants to get the job done. No time for chill. The blonde explains they had to give up searching for her, and she started hating people because of it. Apparently, she became so uncomfortable around others she barely left the house. That's rough, bro. Ijin is listening intently, but he's clearly analyzing everything. This dude misses nothing. The blonde keeps talking, and Ijin's expression is unreadable. He's playing it cool, but is he buying it? Someone is watching them, and they're pissed. Oh no, here comes trouble, I just know it. But the blonde seems genuinely happy, and Ijin is focused on her, so maybe it's not all bad. Ijin's got that intense stare again, and honestly, it's kinda terrifying. This dude is always ready. The blonde is smiling, and Ijin subtly acknowledges her. Their connection is so strange, yet compelling. They keep walking, and Ijin is completely in his zone. He's a predator on the hunt, no doubt. She wakes up totally confused about how she fell asleep. She's out cold. Her phone dings with a text, and she jolts awake. What's going on? She checks the time, 10:10. No way she slept in, and she's panicking. Someone texts her to come downstairs, and she starts fidgeting. She's clearly hiding something. She quickly texts back an excuse. Just woke up. Yeah, right, she's scrambling. Ijin's brother reads the message, looking totally skeptical. He knows something's up. He stares at his phone and straight up asks if she slept in. This dude is onto her. This dude, Jinwoo's handler, is straight up smirking, looking way too pleased with himself. He gets word that Forest, a rival organization, has sent someone in, and it's all going down now. Turns out Forest sent a high-ranking member, and they're ruling with a whole team of mercenaries. No joke. The handler's shocked they only sent one person, but then realizes this single operative is seriously skilled. Apparently, this is their first official assignment, a test to prove their worth, which is ambitious to say the least. The handler reveals this Forest crew formed after the camp, and he's clearly ready to see if they're actually a threat. We cut to a sleek black car pulling up, and a woman steps out, heels clicking on the pavement. She means business. She's walking towards something, and her coat is covered in what looks like blood, which is definitely not a good sign. She's heading into the building, and honestly, this whole situation feels like a trap waiting to spring. The woman's heels keep clicking, each step echoing the tension. She's a predator, and someone's about to be prey. The woman pulls a silenced pistol, and it's clear she's not here to negotiate. This is a straight-up hit. She aims at someone off-panel, but then pauses, her eyes narrowing as she spots something else. A group of suited men approaches, stepping with purpose. They're clearly here for the same target, but who? One guy is in camo, and these dudes are moving fast, like they know exactly where they're going. Inside the car, a blonde guy tries to reassure someone, saying there's no need to worry. Yeah, right. He's looking pretty stressed though, and honestly his forced calm is kinda sus. Suited men continue their advance, their steps echoing. This is getting intense, bro. The blonde guy is getting even more agitated, but still trying to play it cool, which isn't working. But wait, the woman in the red coat is already inside, and she's clearly prepared for a fight. No way, she's got the drop on the suited guys, and this is about to explode into a full-blown shootout. Our boy realizes one of the guys in the car is armed, and he's calculating everything, like always. Inside the car, the blonde dude and the woman are straight up freaked out. They just figured something is seriously wrong. The suited men burst forward, guns drawn, and it's chaos instantly, pew pew, everywhere. This dude in the black suit is moving so fast, dodging bullets like it's nothing, but it's getting intense. He's trying to get to the car, weaving through the gunfire, and honestly, it's a risky move. The blonde guy and woman are panicking, completely caught in the crossfire. Eek is right. Our boy manages to yank open the car door, but he's taking heat, and it's a messy extraction. He pulls the woman and blonde guy out, diving for cover. This is a full-on rescue mission. The suited men keep firing, but our boy is shielding them, a total pro. He's a one-man army. They're huddled together now, trying to catch their breath, but the fight is far from over, bro. This dude is holding a gun, aiming right at the blonde guy. It's a straight-up ambush. The woman screams, and the blonde guy tries to pull her away, but they're cornered by the car. Our boy bursts onto the scene, a whirlwind of motion, and he's clearly intervening, finally. He fires, and one of the attackers goes down instantly, but the blonde guy gets clipped, ouch. Another attacker opens fire, and it's a chaotic mess of bullets and bodies. This is insane. Our boy shields the woman, taking the brunt of the attack, and he's still moving forward, relentless. He knocks the blonde guy to the ground, protecting him, but they're both pinned down by gunfire. The woman yells at the mercenary to follow her. She's taking charge now, surprisingly. They dash for cover, a blur of motion as bullets ricochet around them. It's a desperate escape. Our boy is leading the charge, and honestly, this whole situation is a total disaster. The blonde guy and the woman are begging our boy to leave with them. It's a total mess. But this dude just stands there completely stoic and tells them to go ahead without him. The blonde guy is losing it, yelling that it's too dangerous, but our boy won't budge. The woman agrees they need to leave together, and they're trying to pull him along. He just steers straight ahead, though, and drops the bombshell. He's merely doing his job. The blonde guy is completely shocked, staring with wide eyes. No way he expected that. Cut to a close-up of the blonde guy, and his expression is pure disbelief. What is even going on? Then we get a shot of another guy smirking in the background, and it's seriously creepy. Our boy repeats that he's just doing his job, and honestly, it's a super ominous line. The woman and blonde guy are finally pulling away, and they look terrified. This is escalating fast. Our boy is sprinting through the alley, moving faster than anyone should. It's insane. He glances back and sees a guy with a gun right on his tail, but honestly, he doesn't even seem fazed. He keeps running, dodging debris, and weaving between buildings like it's nothing. The gunman fires again, but our boy is already several steps ahead. This dude is a ghost. He jumps onto a rooftop, and for a second it looks like he's made it, but then another shooter appears. No way, they're flanking him. It's a full-on ambush, and it's happening fast. He drops down, narrowly avoiding another hail of bullets, and lands in a crouch. Smooth move. The shooters are closing in, and they're clearly pros, but our boy is just unfazed, bro. He unleashes a burst of speed, straight up vanishing in a blur. It's like watching a predator hunt. And just like that, he's right behind one of the shooters, taking him down with a single, swift move. Okay, so this dude is confronting the bodyguard, straight up questioning how a kid is working security. But it's not just about age. This dude notices the kid's shooting is way too skilled for practice. Our boy casually clicks his gun, showing he's not playing around, and honestly, it's intimidating. He's got this intense stare down, like he's sizing up the bodyguard and assessing the threat level. Suddenly, he's turning, gun raised, and a red aura flares up around him. Things are about to get messy. He's aiming down the alley, and the tension is real, like he's pinpointing someone or something. This dude whips around a corner, gun still up, clearly tracking a target in the dark. He's fully locked in, focused on whatever's ahead, and the alley looks seriously ominous. However, the alley is empty, and it looks like a trap or a misdirection. Our boy isn't falling for it. He's got his eyes narrowed, scanning the rooftops, and something tells me he's found what he's looking for. He fires, but it's not at a person. He's blasting the gun out of the bodyguard's hand with insane accuracy. The bodyguard is shocked, clearly not expecting that kind of power, and our boy is already moving in. He's closing the distance fast, and the bodyguard tries to block, but it's no use. Smack, our boy lands a brutal hit, sending the bodyguard reeling, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's unleashing a flurry of attacks, a whirlwind of fists, and the bodyguard is getting completely overwhelmed. This dude is taking a beating, but he's still trying to fight back, though it's clearly not working. Our boy's power is visibly building, blue energy crackling around him, and it looks like he's about to go all out. He's unleashing a series of powerful blows, each one landing with a POW, and the bodyguard is getting demolished. Everyone's stunned, they can't believe he can fight up close like this. It's a whole other level of skill. The bodyguard is down, completely outmatched, and our boy just stands there, radiating power. It's intimidating. He grabs the bodyguard's collar, but this dude is fighting back, trying to wrench free. Our boy's grin is terrifying, like he's enjoying this way too much, and he's tightening his grip. The bodyguard tries to talk, but our boy cuts him off with a brutal swing, sending him stumbling backwards. He's unleashing another attack, a whirlwind of fists, and the bodyguard is desperately trying to block. The bodyguard's arm cracks under the force, and he's clearly in serious pain. No way that feels good. He's reeling, trying to escape, but our boy's relentless, and he's sending him sliding across the ground. The bodyguard crashes into a building, and honestly, he's lucky it wasn't worse. Our boy slides to a stop, looking down at the bodyguard, and he's completely unfazed. He spots a gun lying nearby, but he's already moving, picking it up with one hand. He casually tosses the gun aside like it's nothing and straight up walks away. This dude is a menace. Our boy realizes he misjudged the situation. He admits he was wrong, straight up. He hears movement, a quick VRR sound, and starts sprinting down the street. He's dodging obstacles, pushing through the night, but more sounds are closing in. Suddenly, an explosion rocks the street, sending debris flying. This dude is a target. He's back on his feet, scanning the area, and spots two figures approaching quickly. Our boy checks his phone, probably calling for backup, but he's still on high alert. He's got a gun drawn facing the two figures. They're wearing masks and sunglasses, super suspicious. The masked figures start to approach, and our boy is ready to fight, no doubt about it. He's sizing them up, clearly assessing the threat, and he looks completely unfazed. He's already planning his next move, and honestly, these guys messed with the wrong mercenary. Our boy is sprinting through the warehouse, weaving past barrels and equipment. He's moving fast. He's checking his surroundings and spots a group of guys up ahead. They're clearly waiting for something. He scans the scene, assessing the situation, and looks totally calm despite the danger. This dude is ice cold. One of the guys notices him and asks what they are doing, but the reply is simple. They're waiting for backup. They say Sophia can't run any further, and it's clear they are about to intercept her. This is getting intense. Our boy hears someone calling out, and he turns to see Sophia trying to escape. She's in trouble, no way. He's already moving to intercept, but the guys are closing in on Sophia fast. It's a race against time. He jumps in front of Sophia, shielding her from the approaching men. Our boy is a total hero. He's staring down the guys, and they look genuinely shocked he showed up. They didn't see that coming. He's got a steely gaze, totally unfazed, and it's clear these guys are about to regret everything, straight up. One of the guys is praising our boy for getting them out of trouble, but he's playing it cool, claiming it was just luck. The other guy straight up disagrees, saying highly trained professionals don't just get lucky against them. Our boy insists it was luck, but the guy isn't buying it, and another dude is asking what's going on. They realize their guide was part of the team that ambushed them earlier. Total betrayal. They hired her for this trip. The guy's furious, saying security did a thorough background check, but things clearly went wrong. Another dude is freaking out. They've been walking around with a major threat this whole time. No way. Sophia looks totally panicked, and they all realize the enemy's goal is to kidnap them both. This is bad. It's a tense moment, and Sophia is clearly scared. This dude is about to cause some serious trouble. But it's a trap. Sophia is the one setting things up, and our boy is about to find out. She's staring straight at them, and you can tell she's got a plan, and it's not a friendly one. Ijin's getting grilled by his superior, who accuses him of being a traitor. Talk about a bad start to the day. This dude doesn't even hesitate, straight up grabbing the guy by the throat and demanding answers. Ijin's clenching his jaw, eyes narrowed, and it's clear this isn't a discussion, it's a threat. Someone tries to intervene, claiming there's a misunderstanding, but Ijin isn't hearing it. Ijin's face is pure ice, a chilling stare that says, "Try me." He's not backing down from this. Suddenly, a blade swings in for the kill, but Ijin's reflexes are insane, dodging with ease. Ijin's pulling a gun, no way, this is escalating quickly, and honestly, the guy had it coming. He presses the gun and it looks like he's about to shoot. The tension is unreal right now. But the guy points out Ijin wasn't authorized to carry a weapon, and the whole scene freezes. Ijin's got him pinned, demanding to know why he's being accused, and it's a full-on standoff. Ijin's holding this guy tight, demanding to know who ordered the hit. It's intense, bro. Turns out a squad of masked figures is rushing toward them, and Ijin's about to be seriously outnumbered. Someone's ranting about Ijin being a greedy mercenary, but honestly, this dude is asking the right questions. The woman in the room is shocked, blurting out that Ijin has been their bodyguard all along. What? She's questioning if that's even true, looking totally rattled, and the tension is building. The man beside her is glaring at Ijin, and it's clear he's not happy about this reveal. We get a close-up of the woman, and she's clearly panicking, her eyes wide with fear. Another close-up, this time of the woman, and she's starting to realize something huge is going down. Ijin still got the guy pinned, but now everyone's staring at the woman, waiting for answers. Our boy is demanding to know what's happening, and this whole situation is about to explode. The woman starts spilling. She says her husband ordered Ijin to remember the sign if things went south. She's explaining it's a failsafe, a way for Ijin to signal he needs help from someone else. No way. Ijin's looking at the man beside her, and this dude straight up makes a hand signal, 2 fingers up. Then he switches it up, pointing a finger at Ijin, and it's clear this is the signal the woman was talking about. Suddenly, we see a glimpse of a gun barrel, and Ijin's face is like, oh hell no, realizing he's being set up. He's making the same 2-finger sign, but his eyes are locked on something off-screen. He's sending a message back. Ijin's hand is gripping something, it looks like a curtain, and he's bracing for a fight, bro. He's staring down the scope of the rifle, and it's a classic standoff, but honestly, he looks totally unfazed. Ijin's face is stoic, like he's saying, bring it on, and the tension is through the roof. Our boy is ready. The man in the suit demands to know who Ijin really is, but our boy isn't answering questions. Ijin grabs the man's collar, and it's clear he's about to get some answers the hard way. This dude's face is getting wrecked, Ijin squeezing tight and demanding to know what's going on. Ijin's got a gun pointed at the man's head, and he's threatening to blow his brains out. Suddenly, Ijin's eyes lock onto someone else, and he realizes he's been played. This is a setup. He whirls around, gun raised, and straight up blasts one of the guards, no hesitation. The man tries to shield the woman, but Ijin isn't stopping. He's got a mission, bro. Ijin's dodging bullets like it's nothing, weaving through the gunfire like a pro. He's on the move, sprinting towards the exit, and honestly, this dude is a whirlwind. Another guard opens fire, but Ijin's already gone. He's a ghost, leaving chaos in his wake. Ijin and his sister are sprinting, trying to escape, but the man with the gun is right behind them. He grabs one of the VIPs as a human shield, and it's messed up. Ijin's gotta make a choice. Ijin opens fire, blasting the guard holding the VIP, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Another guard pulls his weapon, but Ijin's already spinning, disarming him with a lightning-fast move. He fires again, taking down the second guard, and it's brutal, no hesitation from our boy. Ijin's eyes narrow. He's realizing this whole thing was a setup to make him kill the VIPs. The man with the gun is down, but he's still trying to reach for his weapon, and Ijin's not letting that happen. Ijin fires point blank, and it's straight up chaos. Blood is everywhere, no way. He fires again and again, unloading the clip into the man, and it's intense. Ijin's staring down at the carnage, and it's clear this mission just got a whole lot more complicated. Ijin drops the gun, and for a second it looks like it's over, but then the man's eyes snap open. This dude's still alive, grinning like a maniac, and straight up says Ijin is just like him, a hunter. Ijin's sister is reeling, clearly freaked out, while Ijin just stares him down, processing what he said. He starts walking away, panting, with his sister following close behind, but things are tense, super tense. Ijin's casually reloading his weapon, and bro, that's a power move. He's not letting his guard down. He's walking through the empty facility, and you can hear the gun clicking with each reload. It's creepy. Ijin's thinking about the man's words, realizing this whole operation was designed to push him into becoming a killer. He's recalling his training, the brutal lessons, and it's clear he's wrestling with his past. Ijin decides he's done playing their game. He's going to hunt the hunters, and honestly, good. He's stepping forward, a cold look in his eyes, and it's official. The real mercenary is back. Ijin starts walking towards the exit, each step echoing in the silence. He's completely locked in right now. Figure steps out of the shadows, blocking his path, and it's clear this isn't a coincidence, bro. She's here for a showdown. This dude straight up calls our boy a hunter like he knows his deal, and Iroha doesn't look thrilled. Iroha doesn't even hesitate, challenging the guy to see who's the real predator, and then boom, he's moving fast. He's closing in, but the other guy is already reacting, blocking the attack with a blade of his own. The clash, sparks flying, it's a full-on sword fight, and honestly, it's brutal. Iroha goes for another strike, but the guy dodges, twisting away. He's quick, gotta admit. But Iroha anticipates the move, bringing his blade around in a lightning-fast arc. He's aiming for a clean hit, but the other guy manages to deflect. It's a close call. No time to breathe because Iroha follows up immediately with a stab, a straight-up stab. Guy's caught off guard and the blade finds its mark. Bro is bleeding, no way. Iroha doesn't give him a chance to recover, pressing the attack. This fight is getting seriously intense. Iroha slides forward, blade extended, and straight up cuts the guy. It's a deep gash. We get a close-up of the wound, and it's messy, but Iroha isn't letting up for a second. The guy's reeling, clutching his side, but Iroha is already closing the distance again. Iroha grabs him by the collar, and this dude looks genuinely terrified. Good. Our boy pulls out another blade from his sleeve, a hidden weapon, and it's gleaming. He jams the second blade into the guy's neck, but it looks like he's going for a pressure point. The guy's face contorts in pain, and Iroha is clenching his fist. He's not messing around. Iroha's blade flashes, and it looks like he's slicing through something. But what? Oh no, it's the other guy's weapon, completely bisecting it with a single swing. The blade flies through the air, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Iroha's still relentless, swinging again and again. This dude is just trying to block. He's desperately trying to defend, but Iroha's attacks are coming from all angles. It's brutal. The guy manages to parry one strike, but Iroha instantly goes for a grab, no breathing room. Iroha's grip tightens and you can see the pain in the guy's face. This is getting messy. He's trying to break free, but Iroha's hold is like a vice. This dude is trapped. Iroha delivers a powerful punch, and the guy stumbles back. Our boy is a machine. The guy tries to regain his footing, but Iroha is already closing in for another attack. No chance. Iroha unleashes a flurry of strikes, and it's a total beatdown, straight up relentless. He's finally knocked off balance, and Iroha follows up with a massive kick, no mercy. A huge burst of energy explodes, sending shockwaves. This fight is reaching its peak. This dude is seriously shocked. He can't believe Iroha is better at close combat than him. He's questioning how this is even possible, remembering his days dominating in the forest. He brags about being recognized for his skills in that hellhole, but fighting Iroha is a whole different beast. Our boy is clenching his fist. He's furious and clearly frustrated by the power difference. He yells "Die," launching a punch, but Iroha dodges with insane speed and counters. Iroha lands a brutal blow, and it looks like he's ripped a chunk out of the guy's hand. No way. He's holding the severed finger, completely stunned, while Iroha unleashes another attack. A massive explosion of energy erupts, and this dude is sent flying backwards. It's a total wipeout. He's reeling from the impact, groaning in pain, but Iroha doesn't give him a second to recover. Iroha's still coming, relentless and brutal. This fight is seriously one-sided. Iroha keeps wailing on the guy who's desperately trying to block, but it's barely working. He yells about why this is happening, but Iroha just keeps attacking, relentless as ever. This dude manages to stumble away, but Iroha is right behind him, chasing him down. He's practically running for his life, while Iroha is gaining ground and sirens wail in the background. Iroha shouts that they will meet again, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He crashes through a door, desperate to escape, but Iroha's still hot on his trail. Iroha casually adjusts his tie, looking totally unfazed. This guy is a stone-cold pro. He sighs in relief like that was just a minor inconvenience, while sirens blare louder. Two people watch from a distance, looking worried, wonder who they are and what they know. Iroha calmly walks away and the sirens are going crazy, straight up a clean sweep. The blonde guy is thanking Ijin for yesterday, saying he couldn't properly express his gratitude. Ijin brushes it off, saying he was just doing his job, classic stoic mercenary move. The blonde guy then drops a bomb. The guy Ijin beat up, he needed cash and the kidnappers offered a hefty sum. He explains that Sophia is still shaken up and having a hard time processing everything. The blonde guy reveals Ijin said that same line before, "I was merely doing my job," and he initially thought nothing of it. But now he realizes Ijin wasn't just being polite, he's got a deeper reason for acting that way. Ijin looks away, all intense and broody. No way, this is just about being a good employee. The blonde guy continues explaining, saying the victim was in a desperate situation when the kidnappers approached him. Sophia is still reeling, but the blonde guy is trying to stay calm while she processes everything. Training wraps up and the coach dismisses everyone, but our boy Ijin just crushed it again, as usual. One of the guys, a bit of a bully, corners Ijin and asks about splitting Ijin's bonus with the team. The whole team starts crowding around, demanding a share, but Ijin isn't having it. This dude earned that money. Everyone's shouting, making a scene, but the team captain and another member step up, defending Ijin. They explain Ijin carried the whole mission and doesn't owe them anything. Honestly, these guys finally get it. Even the chairman insisted on giving Ijin a personal bonus. This kid is straight up a prodigy. Word gets around that Ijin's skill is incredible, and his presence is boosting the whole team's training. One of the women at the facility points out Ijin isn't just skilled, he's a positive influence on everyone. She gives the camera a knowing look, and you can tell she recognizes Ijin as something special, no doubt. Ijin's sister shows up at the facility and everyone, and I mean everyone, loses it. The whole training group stops what they're doing, mouths agape, clearly shocked by her appearance. Someone blurts out that's Ijin's sister, and the whispers start spreading like wildfire. She walks into the room totally unfazed by the stares and confidently says, "Oh, hello." The guys are practically tripping over themselves to get a closer look, and her brother's teammate looks completely bewildered. Ijin's sister is rocking a sleek outfit, skirt suit, high heels, and she's straight up stunning, no doubt. One of the trainees is visibly flustered, stammering and nearly dropping his stuff. It's kinda hilarious. A guy with silver hair enters the scene, looking smug as usual, and gives Ijin a cold stare. The team members, all in matching tracksuits, are clearly impressed with Ijin's sister, and honestly, they should be. One of the guys is flexing, trying to look good, but it's not working. He's no match for this level of charisma. Ijin's sister casually asks if there's anything he's craving while they're at the grocery store, and bro looks totally flustered. She glances around at the other trainees, and you can tell she's sizing them up and judging them honestly. Ijin's teammate steps in, offering to cook, thinking he's being a gentleman, but his sister isn't having it. She straight up tells him that only makes more work for the chef, and Ijin's teammate looks confused. Ijin chimes in, saying he can cook, and his sister gives him a look. She's not convinced for a second. She scoffs, but then admits her cooking used to be terrible, which is kinda relatable, right? Ijin's sister suddenly reveals she's been thinking about how to help him, because she feels like a burden. She explains she's realized Ijin carries a lot, and she wants to start pulling her weight, which is sweet. Ijin looks genuinely surprised, and you can tell he didn't realize she felt that way. This is getting real. She says she'll cook, and Ijin agrees, looking relieved and happy, and honestly, it's a cute moment. Ijin's been working out pull-ups no less and looks seriously intense, but he's clearly exhausted. He gets a call, and it's about the missing agent, which is bad news because they've hit a dead end. Ijin learns the search team couldn't find anything, and he's clearly frustrated, but trying to stay calm. He hangs up, and his sister asks what's wrong, sensing something is off with our boy. Ijin tries to brush it off, saying it's nothing, but she doesn't buy it for a second. She presses him, and he finally admits they lost the trail of the missing agent. This is serious. Ijin explains they've searched everywhere, but haven't found a single clue, which is super concerning. Suddenly, there's a loud thump upstairs, and Ijin immediately goes on high alert. No way, that's good. He rushes up the stairs, looking determined, and you can see the tension building in every panel. He's peeking around the corner, and his face is full of worry. Something's definitely up. Ijin finds a guy in their apartment, a total intruder, and immediately demands to know what he's doing. The intruder, who's clearly a higher-up, straight up accuses Ijin of disobeying orders by not killing everyone at the warehouse. Ijin tries to explain, but this dude is losing it, demanding to know why Ijin didn't follow through with the kill order. The higher-up is furious and threatens Ijin, disobey again and he'll shoot him on the spot, no hesitation. Ijin stands his ground, refusing to back down, and the tension is insane. You can practically feel it. The higher-up grabs Ijin's collar, getting right in his face, and this dude is not happy. However, Ijin just stares him down, completely unfazed by the threat, and it's honestly intimidating. The higher-up steps back, surprised by Ijin's defiance, and the power dynamic starts to shift. Ijin turns his head, looking out the window, and you can tell he's about to unleash something huge. He's got this cold, determined look on his face. Our boy is about to show this guy who's boss. Ijin suddenly rips his shirt open, no warning, and it's a total power move, bro. He's using the fabric to completely cover the higher-up's face, blinding him instantly. The higher-up flails around, completely disoriented, and then he loses his footing. Ijin is already moving, swift as anything, and has the higher-up pinned before he even hits the ground. Just then, Ijin's mom walks in with a plate of fruit, completely oblivious to the chaos. She cheerfully offers Ijin some fruit while he's literally dominating this dude. The timing is unreal. Class is letting out, and it looks like everyone's getting an invitation to a gaming session at someone's hideout. But our boy Ijin has other plans. He's meeting his grandpa today, which is a total curveball. This girl Yihyun is super eager for Ijin to join them. She's really pushing for it. Ijin politely declines, saying he's busy with family, but Yihyun's friend looks seriously offended. She grabs Yihyun, clearly not happy with Ijin's rejection, and straight up drags her away. The friend is fuming, giving Ijin a death glare, and Yihyun looks totally embarrassed by the outburst. Ijin's classmate tries to explain he's not a social butterfly and just really into gaming. He says he wants his content to be about his skills, not his personality, which is kinda relatable, honestly. But Yihyun chimes in, saying Ijin is actually pretty chatty and she thinks it'd be fun to watch him talk while he plays. Yihyun's friend is still giving side-eye, but Ijin seems unfazed by all the drama. This dude is ice cold. Things are about to pop off. Suddenly, a guy steps up to Ijin and electricity starts crackling between them. Ijin doesn't even flinch, just gives this super icy stare like he's sizing up a threat. The group walks forward and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's clearly trying to intimidate Ijin. They're all heading towards the school gates and Ijin's classmates are tagging along, looking curious. Ijin's asked if he waited long and he replies not at all, straight up unfazed by everything. They're saying they need to hurry and meet Grandpa, and Ijin looks determined to get there. Group continues walking, and it's clear Ijin's a bit of a mysterious figure to his classmates. Ijin's still keeping his cool, maintaining that stoic expression, but bro is definitely on high alert. They're nearly at the school exit, and it's a full entourage now. This is getting interesting. And just like that, they're off to meet Grandpa, leaving the rest of the school behind them. They're walking alongside the bus stop, and Ijin's got this entourage following him. It's kinda wild. Wait, hold up, a mysterious figure is watching them from the shadows, and he's got a seriously intense look. This dude is radiating bad vibes, straight up glaring at Ijin and his group. Something's about to go down. Ijin's classmates seem oblivious, chatting away, but our boy is definitely scanning the area, on high alert. The mysterious guy starts following them, staying hidden, but Ijin definitely notices. This is getting tense. They're approaching the school exit, and it's a full-on parade now, with everyone curious about where Ijin's headed. Ijin's still totally calm, but he's subtly positioning himself to protect his classmates. This guy is a pro. The group walks under a strange railing, and honestly, it feels like they're stepping into a trap. No way, the mysterious figure is closing in, and he's definitely not friendly. His eyes are locked on Ijin. Ijin's classmates are laughing and chatting, completely unaware of the danger, but our boy is ready for anything. The security guards are losing it. Mr. Yu's grandkids are back and everyone's buzzing about it. They're all saying Mr. Yu has such nice grandchildren. It's rare to see family visit like this. Ijin's classmate boasts about all the girls asking for Ijin's number. This dude is popular. But then she asks about Daein and Ijin's friend looks totally flustered. What's going on? Ijin's friend straight up denies anyone's interested in him, but Daein looks unconvinced. Suddenly, the mysterious figure from earlier is right behind them, and he looks furious. Our boy Ijin spots him immediately, his eyes narrowing. He's about to go into combat mode. They're heading toward the playground and it feels like a trap is closing in. This is intense. Ijin tells his friends to turn around and bro is moving fast. He's trying to get them to safety. However, the mysterious figure is gaining on them and Ijin is ready to throw down. This is gonna be a fight. Ijin is sprinting trying to get his friends away from the danger, but the dude chasing them is fast. The mysterious figure is screaming about Ijin still being alive. What is going on? Two men are discussing Ijin, saying he's barely hanging on, but they think he'll drop dead soon. Rude. One of the men says other trainees have gone through this before, but this time feels different. The other man seems skeptical, but then he looks at Ijin and straight up smirks. This is creepy. They reveal Ijin is slowly climbing the ranks and they didn't realize it until now. Our boy is a prodigy. The man in the hat starts talking, and it's clear this isn't the first time someone has been in Ijin's position. He's basically saying Ijin is always on the brink of death, but somehow keeps surviving. This dude is a beast. The man with the smirk asks if that's really true, and Ijin's face is giving off intense vibes. But then we cut to black. What just happened? This is a cliffhanger. Ijin is getting absolutely pummeled, but he's fighting back. This is brutal, no way. He manages to stab one attacker, but then another one gets the drop on him. It's a chaotic mess. Ijin is overwhelmed, getting beaten down by multiple guys, and it looks seriously bad. Suddenly, a gun appears and Ijin is blasting away. He's turning the tables fast. Boom, boom, he's firing like a pro, taking down his attackers. This dude is a machine. More booms, Ijin is unleashing a storm of bullets, and the scene is total carnage. He's reloading, eyes focused, and ready for whatever comes next. Our boy is a beast. Ijin is still firing, and the attackers are falling left and right. They didn't know what hit them. But then someone says you were the perfect soldier. What does that even mean? Scene fades to black, and honestly, we're left with more questions than answers. Ijin's still unloading on these guys, but then he hears a voice. It's the man who smirked earlier. He's saying Ijin was the perfect soldier, and it's seriously throwing our boy off his game. This dude is lurking in the shadows, and he's straight up convinced he just saw a kid who looks like our boy. He spots his old high school crew, but they're all like, nah, that can't be him, thinking it's someone else entirely. They're chatting with a woman, and she points out how much this guy has changed, and honestly, she's not wrong. But someone else is watching, and they're absolutely furious, blaming our boy for ruining their life. Talk about baggage. Our boy is walking down the street getting a call and seems totally oblivious to the danger closing in around him. He's clenching his fist, and you can tell this call is stirring up some serious memories. It's not good. He's now holding a knife, looking intense, and it's clear he's reliving a traumatic moment from his past. He's demanding to know if the person on the other end is just living their life like nothing ever happened, and the rage is real. But then we cut back to the shadows, and this dude is screaming mad dog. Things are about to explode. He's gripping that knife tighter, and you just know this isn't going to end well. Our boy is about to unleash. This dude is laying down the law, no contacting anyone for help, and if anyone assists, the hostage is dead. Our boy is back on the phone, but he's getting the cold shoulder. The person on the other end won't even talk. He announces he won't be using that phone anymore, and if an unknown number calls, they better answer. Creepy vibes are off the charts. He finally gets a response, a simple all right, but you can tell our boy isn't buying it for a second. He hangs up, and honestly, this feels like a trap, and he knows it. This dude is walking into a nightmare. Our boy is walking, trying to act normal, but he's totally bracing for a fight. You can see it in his eyes. But he's cornered. Someone's already moved to block his path, and it's clear this isn't a coincidence. He's demanding to hear a voice, but the guy on the phone is just messing with him, and it's straight up infuriating. The guy on the phone is telling him he's in no position to make demands. Talk about a power play. However, our boy is already mentally preparing for war. This situation is escalating fast, and it's gonna get messy. He's on the phone with Daein, but the connection is shaky. It cuts out mid-sentence, and our boy is furious. He's trying to call her back, but the phone is showing Daein is already on another call. Something is seriously wrong. No way. He abandons the call and just bolts, sprinting down the hallway like his life depends on it. This dude is moving fast, dodging obstacles, and the speed lines are insane. He's a blur. He's still trying to reach Daein, but the phone just keeps ringing and ringing. It's a bad sign. Our boy is full-on sprinting, practically flying through the building. He's determined to get to her. He's pushing himself to the limit, feet pounding against the floor, and honestly, this is intense. But he stops short, phone still ringing, and shouts Dae-in. He's realizing this is a setup. He's wild-eyed and desperate, and you can see the panic setting in. This isn't going to be a simple rescue. However, he's already mentally preparing for a fight. He's bracing himself for whatever comes next. He gets a text from an unknown number with a location and a terrifying threat. If he's late, the hostage dies. Our boy is sprinting through the building, pushing past his limits, but he's starting to realize this is a trap. He bursts through a door expecting to find Dae-in, but the room is empty and it's rigged with explosives. No way. He throws himself backward just as the room erupts in flames and debris, narrowly avoiding being blown to bits. He's pinned down, covered in dust and bleeding, but straight up he barely flinches. This dude is a tank. He manages to get to his feet, but the voice on the phone is taunting him, revealing they knew he'd come. However, our boy spots a faint reflection in a window. Someone's watching him and they're armed. He whirls around ready to fight, but the attacker is too fast, launching a surprise attack with a knife. Our boy barely blocks the blow, the force sending him stumbling back. This fight is about to get brutal. He's locked in a deadly struggle and the attacker is relentless. This isn't just a fight, it's a desperate race against time. He's checking his contacts and it's Seokju Ko, the guy who's been pulling the strings this whole time. He's got Seokju's number saved, but he's hesitating to call. He knows this dude is dangerous. But he dials anyway, needing answers, and Seokju actually picks up, smooth like he was expecting it. Seokju's laying down a twisted confession. He manipulated everything, even the hostage situation, to lure our boy out. Our boy is furious and you can see it in his eyes. This dude just admitted to using Dae-in as bait. He hangs up on Seokju, then bursts out of the building, determined to find him, revenge mode activated. He jumps on his motorcycle and straight up, he's flying down the street. This is gonna be a high-speed chase. Seokju's already speeding away in his own ride, and honestly, this dude is a skilled driver. Our boy is gaining on him, weaving through traffic, but Seokju pulls a crazy maneuver, swerving into oncoming lanes. He's pushing the bike to its absolute limit, tires screeching, and it looks like he's about to close the gap. This is insane. He's tracking Seokju's location on his phone, and it leads him to 25th Street, a dead end. He slams on the brakes, screeching to a halt, and immediately feels like he's being watched. Creepy. Our boy scans the rooftops, convinced dog Seokju's enforcer has cameras everywhere and is monitoring him. He spots the enforcer's helmeted head peering down, and bro is straight up freaking out. This dude is intense. He's thinking dog is watching and wonders if there are cameras all over the place, paranoia setting in. But then dog pulls a gun on a man tied to a chair, and our boy realizes he's already too late. No way. The man yells Ijin as dog aims, and honestly, this dude had it coming for being involved. Seokju's enforcer just shot the man and our boy is absolutely furious. This is about to get messy. This dude thinks he's on the same page as the assassin, but honestly, he's way off. Someone's already confirmed the mission's a bust and the other guy is straight up losing it. Silence descends and you can feel the tension building. It's like everyone's holding their breath. He insists they don't have time for small talk, and honestly, he's not wrong. One of the assassins is giving off serious villain vibes with that eye patch. No way. The guy's smirking and it's clear he's enjoying the chaos. This is getting good. She points the gun and announces the target's arrival, and everyone immediately snaps to attention. Our boy is turning, getting ready for action. He's about to unleash hell. I can feel it. The target has arrived and the whole crew is ready to hunt him down, but something feels off. But honestly, this whole setup feels like a trap. I have a bad feeling about this. Our boy just mowed down a whole squad. It's a bloodbath, but he's already reloading his gun. He clicks the gun's slide, and the woman on comms is asking if he took them all down already. She's all like, "Didn't I tell you?" and reveals they already have a hostage. Classic setup. The one-eyed dude is questioning if Forrest is seriously suggesting a hostage situation. He's calling it a cheap tactic, but honestly, this dude had it coming. He's pushing buttons. The woman on comm straight up says they're going all out, and a ton of masked figures appear behind her. The one-eyed guy gives the order to go ahead, and you know things are about to get really messy. But wait, the woman on comms is doubling down, saying he didn't tell them everything. She reveals they've been tracking OOI for a while, and our boy is about to walk into a trap. However, he's already moving, and honestly, he seems totally unfazed by the news. This dude is fearless. The woman gives the order, don't bother capturing the target alive, straight up a kill order. But our boy overhears and realizes this is his chance to climb the ranks within Forest. He's thinking 001 of the numbers is Forest's biggest worry, and he's about to take him out. He's scoping out the area, and it's a massive multi-level structure. Looks like a warehouse or something. He wonders if Forest is waiting for him on the ground level. Or maybe above ground, this dude is already planning his attack route. He starts climbing and you can hear the metal groaning, VRR, VRR, it's a tense sound. He's gripping the railing and a blue energy starts pulsing from his hand. Oh, things are getting serious. Forest is definitely waiting, and he's making it clear they train their guys to be just as strong. Forest tells him they aren't letting him walk out alive and then drops the bombshell. 001. Our boy declares he has no choice but to survive this and immediately starts moving, no hesitation at all. He's dashing up the metal stairs, a blur of motion. This dude is seriously fast. Suddenly, a sniper takes aim and fires, but our boy anticipates it. His senses are on another level. A shot rings out, hitting someone behind him, and it's a straight-up explosion of red. No way. Another sniper opens fire, and our boy is dodging bullets like it's nothing. This is insane. He's weaving through the gunfire, using the structure as cover, but another blast nearly gets him. He drops to the ground, sliding under a railing, and returns fire, pew, pew, taking out one of the snipers. He's charging forward, unleashing a flurry of attacks, and another sniper goes down in a spray of blood. He slams into another enemy, knocking him off the platform, thud, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He lands a final kick, sending the enemy sprawling, clank, and it looks like things are quieting down for now. He's got one gun, but another enemy is already coming at him with a weapon, straight up ambushing him. Our boy fires, taking down the attacker, but then slips on something slick, no time to recover. He's dodging more shots, weaving between metal beams, but it's getting tighter in here, super dangerous. Another enemy goes down from his return fire, pew, pew, but there's still more coming, and they are relentless. He's taking out enemies left and right, but the floor is covered in blood. It's a total massacre. He kicks another attacker, sending him flying, and then quickly scans the area. Gotta stay aware. Another sniper takes aim, and our boy anticipates it, returning fire before they can even pull the trigger. Pew, pew, he takes out another enemy, but there's still someone firing. This fight isn't over yet. The gunfire intensifies, and he's caught in a crossfire. It's absolute chaos right now. He's returning fire, dodging bullets, and pushing forward. This dude is a machine, honestly. He's dodging a hail of bullets, flipping backwards and barely avoiding getting shredded. No way. But he lands awkwardly, and we get a quick glimpse of a determined look in his eye. He's not slowing down. He's unleashing a flurry of attacks, kicking and punching with insane speed, taking out enemies left and right. Pew, pew, more gunfire, and he's using the beams as cover while taking down another attacker. This dude is relentless. He slides under a barrage of bullets, using the momentum to kick an enemy into another, straight-up domino effect. However, he's surrounded, and it looks like he's about to be overwhelmed, but our boy doesn't even flinch. Our boy is straight up sprinting across this construction site, dodging debris like it's nothing. A whole squad of masked guys with guns appears, and they're gaining on him fast. He's weaving through metal supports, but these guys are coordinated, pushing forward relentlessly. This dude pulls a pistol and starts firing, taking down one of the attackers with a clean shot. He's unloading on them as he moves, but more keep coming. It's a full-on firefight on the scaffolding. Another attacker tries to flank him, but our boy anticipates the move and spins, pistol blazing. They're pushing him back toward a doorway, and honestly, it looks like a trap. He bursts through the door, guns firing, and finds a gruesome scene, bodies everywhere. More masked figures are waiting inside, and they're clearly surprised by his sudden entrance. They flinch but already raise their weapons. This is about to get messy, no way around it. He unleashes a rapid burst of gunfire, taking down multiple attackers in a brutal, close-quarters exchange. One of the masked guys goes down hard, and the others are visibly shocked by the sheer force of the attack. He empties his pistol, then quickly ejects the magazine. This dude is a pro at reloading under pressure. But he doesn't have time to reload fully. another attacker is already moving in for the kill. He whips out a second gun, smoothly transitioning to it, and fires. No wasted movement, seriously. The attacker falls, but our boy takes a hit to the shoulder. That's gotta sting, but he barely reacts. He scans the room, taking in the carnage, and for a second he just stares, seemingly lost in thought. Another masked figure rushes him, and he instinctively fires. It's pure reflex at this point. This dude is breathing heavily, clearly shaken, but he keeps his gun trained on any potential threats. He glances down at his bloodied hand, a grim expression on his face. This mission is far from over. He's cornered but unleashes a blinding energy blade, slicing straight through the attacker's gun. Seriously cool. The masked figure stumbles back, clutching his hand, and our boy just stares him down, no mercy in those eyes. He moves fast, spinning and delivering a brutal kick to another enemy, sending him flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming. But another attacker manages to get the drop on him, gun pointed at the back of his head, and it looks grim. He pivots, grabbing the attacker's wrist just as he fires, deflecting the bullet with a flash of blue energy. Talk about clutch. Our boy delivers a swift elbow to the attacker's face, then immediately turns, firing point blank at the next guy. The attacker goes down, a massive spray of blood erupting. It's intense, no way around it. Scans the area, but another enemy is already closing in, and for a split second, he's vulnerable. He fires again, taking down another enemy, but he's clearly exhausted. This is a relentless fight. He's breathing hard, eyes blazing, and straight up ready for whoever comes next. This dude is a beast. He drops the last enemy with a sickening thud. It's brutal but necessary. But before he can even catch his breath, two more armed figures appear, blocking his exit. He's surrounded, but our boy isn't fazed. He starts firing, taking them both down with precise shots. He scans the room, confirming they're down, but then realizes there are more bodies hidden in the shadows. He's clearly exhausted, but pushes through, dodging incoming fire while reloading. This dude is relentless. He uses the environment, leaping over a railing and continuing the firefight, seriously acrobatic. He takes out another attacker, but another one is already rushing him. It's a non-stop onslaught. He spins, evading the attack, and delivers a powerful counter-strike, right to the jaw. He's on the move again, dashing through the facility, trying to create some distance. Smart thinking. However, he glances back and sees more enemies closing in. This is far from over, bro. He's cornered, but our boy doesn't panic. He's already calculating his next move, eyes locked on the enemy. He grabs a gun from a downed enemy and starts firing, taking out one attacker after another. It's pure chaos. He's dodging bullets and returning fire, moving like a whirlwind. Seriously, this dude is a machine. He takes down another enemy, but there are still two left. It's a desperate situation, but he's holding his own. He disarms one attacker, then uses him as a shield against incoming fire. No way, that's cold. He finishes off the shielded enemy, but another one is charging. This is a brutal, close-quarters fight. He delivers a devastating blow to the attacker, sending him flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's breathing heavily, covered in blood, but he presses on. Our boy is a relentless fighting machine. He fires again, eliminating the last enemy, but then he realizes there's still one more threat lurking. A figure steps out of the shadows, aiming a gun. However, our boy is faster, disarming him in a flash. He's winded, but immediately gets a message. This is Bravo, and Charlie has been taken out. Oh no, things are escalating. The woman in charge is straight up furious, demanding to know if all of Charlie's team is down. This is bad, really bad. She's panicking, realizing they're at a major disadvantage and needs to change the plan, but it might be too late. Suddenly, someone opens fire, pew pew, and the woman ducks for cover, clearly surprised by the attack. Another team member yells into comms, Bravo, come in, and we see a shadowy figure moving in on our boy. Our boy is being grabbed, pulled into the darkness, but he's still fighting, trying to break free. The woman is losing it, shouting that they've lost 3 teams already. This operation is a disaster. She clenches her fist, completely enraged. They're not just losing numbers, but skilled assassins and tacticians too. Someone explains that these guys aren't just good at killing, they're also military strategists. Double trouble. Okay, so things are intense. Someone's asking if our boy is 001, this mysterious super mercenary. He starts walking, super calm, but you can tell something's about to go down, bro. And bam, this shadowy figure just appears, gun drawn, and is clearly scoping out the situation. Then shots ring out and it's straight up chaos as the figure opens fire on something off-screen. The figure is going to work, dodging attacks and firing back. This dude is a machine. Explosions are happening, glass is shattering, and honestly, this dude had it coming. But then we see a kid gets hit and he's seriously wounded. It's a total gut punch. The shadowy figure is now face to face with someone and it's a tense standoff for sure. He's checking his gun, clicking it, and realizing he has a new opportunity right in front of him. In the final panel, a glimpse of the target. This is gonna be a wild ride, I'm telling you. Okay, so our boy is flying through the air, eyes glowing, and he's clearly pissed off. He lands with a kick, sending a piece of metal flying, and it's all happening so fast. The building is shaking, debris is falling. It's a full-on demolition derby, no way. He's clutching his side, hurt but still moving. This dude is a tank, I swear. The shadowy figure is dodging and weaving, firing his gun in rapid succession. It's intense. He's unloading on the building, and it's a total inferno of explosions and fire, seriously. Close-up reveals the figure's eye. It's cold, calculating, and definitely not friendly. But then, out of nowhere, our boy is airborne again, a black blur descending on the shooter. The figure's reacting, but it's too late. Our boy is about to make contact, and it's gonna hurt. He's slamming into the shooter, and it looks like a full-on tackle. Bro, this is gonna be good. He's unloading on the shooter, bullets flying, and the guy's getting absolutely wrecked. No mercy. But the shooter manages to fire back, hitting our boy in the shoulder. Ouch, that looks painful. He crashes to the ground, taking a brutal hit, and it's a straight-up thud, seriously heavy impact. He's slumped against the wall, bleeding and breathing heavily. This dude is seriously hurt, but still conscious. Someone's yelling at him, asking why he's just hiding. Like, seriously, the nerve of this person. Our boy whips his head around, eyes narrowed, and a gun appears in his hand. He's not messing around. He tosses the gun aside and it clatters to the floor. A sudden, unexpected move, honestly. He bolts upright and sprints away, leaving a blue trail in his wake. Talk about a quick recovery. The door slams shut with a boom, and it's clear he's trying to put distance between them. He's on the move, determined but clearly injured. This dude is running on pure adrenaline, I swear. He's firing again, point blank, and the shooter is reeling. It's a brutal counterattack. The shooter clutches his arm, blood spraying everywhere. This is seriously messy, bro. Our boy keeps unloading, pushing the shooter back. No stopping this onslaught. He's pushing forward, relentless, but then his gun clicks, empty, no way. He throws the gun aside and grabs another one, a long rifle. Switching weapons mid-fight is insane. He fires again and the shooter goes flying, crashing through some crates, a total wipeout. But the shooter is still moving, scrambling to get up. This dude is tough, honestly. Our boy fires again, this time a shot to the chest. It's devastating and the shooter drops. He's standing over the shooter, breathing hard, but then he hears a click, another gun. He whirls around, weapon raised, ready for another fight. This just never ends, does it? He's got another enemy on him, a masked dude with a sword, and straight up dives for cover. The masked fighter swings, a flash of steel, and our boy barely rolls away. That was close. He's trying to get some space, but the attacker is relentless, slashing again and again. It's a flurry of attacks. Our boy's getting cornered, and the masked fighter is going for the kill. It's looking grim, bro. He's trying to fight back, grabbing at the attacker, but the sword keeps coming. It's a brutal struggle. The masked fighter lands a blow, and it looks deep. Blood is gushing. This is intense. He's losing ground, taking hit after hit, but then someone shouts about a hostage. No way. He flinches, hesitates for a split second, and the masked fighter goes in for another attack. A risky move. But our boy recovers, dodging the blade and turning the tables. He's not going down without a fight. He's swinging his own weapon, a blue energy blade, and it connects. This dude is seriously messed up. He's declaring he can be killed, but his eyes are glowing, like seriously glowing, and it's kinda terrifying. He's grabbing the attacker's wrist, and you can see the force is insane. Bones are cracking, bro. The masked fighter is reeling, but he's still swinging. This guy refuses to go down easily. Our boy lands a kick, sending the attacker flying, but then he notices someone else. Another enemy is bleeding out. He's looking at the injured guy, and for a moment, it seems like he's going to help, but then more masked figures appear. He's surrounded and they're all coming at him, weapons drawn. It's a total ambush, and honestly, he's outnumbered. He's unleashing a massive burst of energy, a wave of blue, and it slams into the attackers. They're getting blown back. Someone else shouts no matter what happens, and it's super ominous. This is about to get way more complicated. It's episode 139, and our boy and his squad are moving out on a mission, looking serious and ready for war. They infiltrate the building, but something's already wrong. A voice on the comms is reporting a casualty, code 002. Cut to a guy with an eye patch looking absolutely furious, clenched teeth and everything. He clearly knows something's up. The squad breaches a room and it's a bloodbath. Guys are down and this dude's back is straight up shredded. One of the mercs levels his gun, but it's too late. Our boy is already spinning, a blade flashing in his hand. He's cutting through enemies like butter, but one of them manages to get a shot off, leaving our boy covered in blood. The eye patch guy is watching the carnage unfold, and honestly, this dude had it coming, messing with our boy. Our boy calmly tells the injured merc that it's fine with him. He's not fazed by a little blood, no way. He spins the blade a blur, and then boom, the enemy is down, a clean slice, and the mission continues. But it's clear this isn't a simple op. There's something else going on, and our boy is walking right into it. Okay, so our boy just wiped out a bunch of enemies, but it turns out one of them was a big deal, Forest's elite, no less. This dude, the eye patch guy, is furious and starts ranting about how the more enemies alive, the more danger our boy is in. He's questioning our boy's judgment, like seriously, is he falling from grace? Our boy just stares back, silent. The eye patch guy keeps pushing, asking if this is how far our boy has fallen. Bro, give it a rest. Our boy remains unresponsive, but we see he's injured, a cut on his arm. Still, he's totally unfazed. The eye patch guy lets out a creepy laugh, haha, and straight up seems to enjoy the carnage. He finally says fine as more mercs arrive, surveying the scene. It's a total mess. Another merc steps forward, admitting he didn't expect backup to show up, but our boy isn't scared, apparently. This guy tries to act tough, telling our boy not to act scared, but honestly, he's sweating bullets. We get a close-up of the eye patch guy's face. He's definitely plotting something, and it's not good. The eye patch guy's offering a deal, kill the other mercs and he'll let our boy go. What a twist. But our boy just stares him down, totally silent, and the tension is insane right now. Suddenly, a sniper takes aim, and it's clear someone else is playing this game too. The sniper fires, but our boy's reflexes are unreal. He's already moving before the bullet even lands. He dives for cover, and honestly, it's a miracle he dodges that shot. This dude is a pro. Another merc steps up, trying to intimidate our boy, but he's clearly outmatched. The eye patch guy is giving orders, coordinating the attack, and it's a full-on ambush now. But our boy isn't backing down. He's already planning his counterattack, and it's gonna be brutal. He's assessing the situation, scoping out the enemy positions, and his focus is terrifying. And then he's got a sniper rifle locked and loaded. No way this is going to end well for them. The eye patch guy is losing it, screaming at our boy about what he's doing. Talk about a mood swing. But our boy ignores him, locking eyes with another merc who's clearly the real target here. Straight up, this dude is about to get wrecked. Our boy unleashes a burst from his pistol, and it's a total explosion. The merc goes flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming for messing with our boy. The eye patch guy is furious, yelling about another hostage. Apparently, there's a timer on this whole thing. He's threatening that if our boy doesn't cooperate, the other hostage is a goner. What a messed up situation. Our boy's face is stone cold, and you can tell he's not buying any of it. This dude is unfazed. He's staring down the eye patch guy, and it's clear this isn't a negotiation, it's a standoff. The eye patch guy is shocked. He didn't expect our boy to call his bluff, but he should have known better. However, our boy just keeps staring, and the tension is building to a crazy level. This is gonna pop off. The eye patch guy is losing it, unleashing a full-on attack. It's brutal and fast. Our boy takes a massive hit, gets sent flying, and lands covered in blood. Ouch. But even after that, he's still conscious, glaring at the eye patch guy with pure rage. The eye patch guy delivers another blow, and this one looks seriously damaging. No holding back. He's down but not out. Our boy is fighting through the pain, trying to regain control. The eye patch guy is mocking him, calling him cute and mentioning his sister. This dude is messed up. However, our boy's eyes snap open and you can see a fire burning in them. He's not defeated. He's focusing all his energy and his gaze is locked on the eye patch guy. Something's about to change. The eye patch guy is still taunting him, and our boy is clearly reaching his breaking point. But then his eye glows and he's unleashing a power we haven't seen before. It's intense. Our boy is reeling, covered in blood, but the eye patch guy just steps closer, completely unfazed. He pats our boy on the shoulder like it's nothing, talk about a power move, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Our boy's eyes narrow and he's clearly processing something. The gears are turning in that head. He suddenly grabs the eye patch guy, shocking everyone, and spins him around, a total reversal. The eye patch guy tries to fight back, but our boy is relentless, holding him tight, no escape. He's staring right into the eye patch guy's eyes, and it's intense. This is a serious showdown. Then out of nowhere, another dude rushes in, and another one appears. It's a whole crew. They're surrounding our boy, but he doesn't even flinch. This dude is unfazed by numbers. The eye patch guy smirks, confident in his backup, but our boy just looks even more determined. Our boy raises his hand, signaling his own team. The cavalry has arrived, and it's about to get wild. So everyone's grilling our boy about his past. Turns out he was a mercenary after a plane crash. No way. They find out this dude started working as a mercenary when he was only 9 years old. Seriously. He confirms it, straight up admitting he was a child soldier, but it gets heavier fast. This dude reveals someone has been holding a grudge against him since his mercenary days, and it's connected to everything. He apologizes for putting everyone in danger, claiming it's all because of his past life. But it's not just about the past. Someone actively schemed to cause trouble for him and his friends. Our boy is clearly carrying a ton of weight, and honestly, this whole situation is messed up. The woman looks completely shocked and worried, realizing the danger they are all in. And the old man, he's just devastated, probably thinking about everything his grandson went through. This is about to get intense because someone is coming for our boy, and they've been planning this for years. The grandfather grips his hand, knowing how hard it was for him to share everything. He tells the old man someone is coming for him, and it's been brewing for years. No way. Our boy is totally shutting down, barely able to speak. This is hitting him hard. He starts walking down the hospital hallway, trying to process everything, but it's a lot. Another guy is walking the same hallway, and he looks intense, like he's hunting someone. This dude is staring daggers, seriously plotting something, and honestly, it's creepy. He's fixated on our boy, eyes narrowed, clearly recognizing him from the past. The old man is now with another man in a suit, and they're looking down the hallway too. They're realizing the threat is real, and someone is actively targeting our boy. This is bad. The city skyline looms outside, but it feels ominous now, like danger is closing in. They claim the site was mostly clean when they got there, and they just finished up the remaining traces. The old man asks if he told his family about any of this, and our boy is straight up avoiding the question. He says his family doesn't know the details and confirms Mr. Sin knew what he was doing as a mercenary. Mr. Sin is silent for a beat. He's processing, and honestly, this is a heavy reveal. Our boy starts walking away, leaving Mr. Sin in the dust, and the old man looks conflicted. But the old man follows, clearly not letting this go, and demands to know why he didn't tell them. He explains he didn't want to burden his family with his dangerous life, but it's not sitting well with Mr. Sin. Our boy insists he was sure Mr. Sin understood the risks. It's a tense standoff, bro. Mr. Sin finally speaks, saying he did know, but he underestimated the weight of it all. They both fall silent and start walking again, but the mood is thick with unspoken tension. This dude is furious Mad Dog isn't talking, and demands they go to his hideout to get answers. One of the guys points out Mad Dog led the camp, and a little torture didn't even faze him. This is escalating. The leader, this intense guy with slick back hair, is giving off major villain vibes, bro. He's laying down the law. They're going to find out what Mad Dog knows, no matter what it takes. The muscly-bound guy with the tattoos is all riled up, looking like he's ready to break some heads. Suddenly, a blonde guy speaks up, and everyone turns to look. Something's about to go down. He asks what they did at the time, and the tension in the room is insane, seriously. The tattooed dude and the woman in camo looks shocked, and our boy, he's completely unfazed. Someone asks what, and honestly we're all wondering the same thing. What happened back then? Our boy's expression is cold as ice, and you know whatever this is about, it's gonna be huge. Our boy is laying it all out. 001 would have acted the second Mad Dog opened his mouth, straight up. The woman in camo explains they needed to act, fearing Mad Dog would come for them if they waited. The tattooed dude asks if that isn't reason enough, and honestly, it kinda is. But then the blonde guy starts freaking out, demanding to know what they did at the time. He's looking at someone on the floor covered in blood. This is getting dark fast. Our boy's face is stone cold, and the scene is all red and distorted like something's breaking. He says they may not have said anything, but everyone knows the truth. The tension is unreal. The woman in Kamo repeats it. If Oo had heard Mad Dog, he'd have acted immediately. But our boy isn't buying it, and he's clearly holding back something huge. This dude is a ticking time bomb. He insists Mad Dog didn't do anything, but we all know that's a lie, and it's about to explode. Our boy says he'll make a decision after this whole thing is over. It's a promise, bro. The commander asks about the rest of the crew, but the response is chilling. They are all dead. The news hits hard and everyone looks devastated, but our boy is still stone-faced. No way. Someone points out they lost contact with the team, and it's clear something bad went down. The commander is furious, demanding to know what happened to his men, and honestly, same. A soldier explains they lost contact, but the commander doesn't buy it, and neither do we. The commander wants to know exactly what happened, and the tension is building big time. They claim it was a quick operation, but the commander sees through the lies, and it's about to pop off. The guy in Kamo insists they did what they had to, but our boy is staring him down, and it's intense. Our boy is about to unleash, and you can tell he's not going to let this go. This is gonna be good. Our boy straight up accuses the Kamo guy of lying about the mission. He's calling him out on everything, bro. Okay, so Ijin straight up cooked a feast for his family, a huge spread of Korean dishes, and everyone's shocked. His mom and dad are both like, "You've never cooked anything like this before," and Ijin explains he just followed a recipe video. He's being humble, hoping it tastes good, but honestly, this dude is a secret chef. His sister immediately dives in, saying it smells amazing and she's sure it's delicious. She's already munching on something. Both his sister and dad grab chopsticks, and it looks like they're both pretty impressed with the food Ijin made. But his sister's face suddenly changes. She's looking shocked, and his dad's expression is complicated, to say the least. Ijin's family is having a moment, and it looks like the food is causing some serious emotions to surface. His sister's totally freaked out, covering her mouth with her hands, while his dad looks equally stunned something's up. The scene gets extra dramatic with sparkles and flowers appearing around them, hinting this meal is more than just a meal, it's a reveal. Ijin's just standing there looking all cool and collected, totally unaware of the family drama his cooking has unleashed. Ijin's dad says he must be tired from cooking all morning, but our boy is straight up denying it. He suggests his mom try making new dishes sometimes, and his sister looks totally charmed by this, so sweet. But hold up, the conversation shifts and Ijin offers to make anything his family is craving, no problem. Suddenly, the scene cuts to a rooftop, and it's clear someone is watching the family, plotting something shady. These guys are talking about Forrest's movements, and it sounds like they're expecting trouble. Uh-oh. They're saying things are about to get much harder for Ijin, and honestly, that's a massive understatement. The leader of this crew is giving a seriously menacing stare, and it's clear he means business. Cut back to Ijin, and he's looking determined, saying he knows things are about to get tough. But he's not backing down, and it's awesome. This dude is ready for whatever comes next. This family dinner is cozy, but it's a calm before the storm because Forrest is definitely coming for Ijin. Ijin's family is enjoying the meal, seemingly peaceful, but we all know it's a setup. Suddenly, the scene cuts to a dark, creepy mansion, and it's clear someone's been captured. This dude is chained up, covered in blood, and straight up tortured. It's brutal. A shadowy figure leans in, delivering a menacing line about how there's no escape. The captor continues to taunt him, saying no one is coming to save this mad dog. He's basically saying the prisoner will spill everything he knows, then they'll get rid of him. We get a close-up of the prisoner's face, even more messed up than before, and he's clearly defiant. Back at the mansion, someone's watching, and they're definitely connected to this whole mess. Ijin's family is finishing up, unaware of the nightmare unfolding elsewhere. Talk about tension. But the real shocker, the mansion is the same one Ijin's been investigating, and things are about to explode. Ijin demands to know what the prisoner wants to tell him, straight up. He's not messing around. The prisoner, battered and bruised, asks about the numbers who died the day 001 ran away. Ijin is instantly cold. He calls it useless information, but this dude is fishing for something. He reveals 001 betrayed those numbers and killed them all, but Ijin isn't buying it for a second. Ijin calls him a mad dog and then leans in close, demanding to know who actually killed those guys. The prisoner is clearly rattled, and Ijin is using his intense stare to break him. It's working. Ijin presses further, asking if 002 doesn't believe 001 was the killer. This is getting good. Ijin's face is intense. He's not letting up, and the prisoner is starting to sweat. The prisoner is trying to hold on, but Ijin is breaking him down. No way he can withstand this pressure. Ijin's relentless questioning is about to pay off. This dude is about to spill everything, and it's awesome. Ijin reveals he only cared about predicting survival rates and how efficient they'd be as fighters. Cold, bro. The prisoner spits at Ijin, but our boy doesn't even flinch. This dude is fearless. The prisoner demands to know why everyone keeps trusting 001. Ijin's about to drop a truth bomb. Ijin simply states 001 said it himself. Straight up, he's playing mind games. Ijin pulls a gun, aiming it right at the prisoner. No way this is going to end well. Fires, but it's a warning shot. Ijin's just flexing on this guy, honestly. The prisoner is terrified, and Ijin leans in, asking again why they trust 001, relentless. Ijin says the fact 001 confessed might not even matter anymore. This is getting dark. But then Ijin turns away, dismissing the prisoner. So cold, he's done with this. Ijin's face is shadowed and intense. He's clearly hiding something, and it's a huge cliffhanger. Ijin's face is a mask of fury, remembering all the soldiers who died. It's intense, bro. He envisions dozens of ghostly soldiers standing before him, all victims of 001. It's a haunting scene. The ghostly figures multiply, filling the space, and Ijin's rage builds. This is straight up terrifying. We see glimpses of different soldiers, each with their own pain and story. It's a lot to take in. Ijin focuses on one soldier's face, then another. He's seeing their deaths play out again. More soldiers appear, their faces blurred and distorted. It's a sea of lost souls, honestly. The vision culminates in a massive explosion, boom, and Ijin's overwhelmed with the carnage. Suddenly, we're outside, and a group of shadowy figures are standing around. Who are these guys? A hulking figure steps forward, and the others fall in line. They look like they are ready for war. Our boy Ijin wakes up before dawn, already up and moving before the sun even thinks about rising. He's straight up doing a full workout, pull-ups, push-ups, the works, while everyone else is still dreaming. He's pushing himself hard, but it's clear this dude is used to pain and exhaustion, no sweat. The alarm clock is relentless, ticking away like it's judging his every move. He's practicing soccer, kicking the ball around, looks like he's prepping for something big. He's still moving, still training, even while clearly exhausted, mumbling to himself as he goes. He's back to pull-ups, gritting his teeth and pushing through the burn. This guy is a machine. And then he steps on something sharp, a shard of glass, but barely reacts, which is kinda terrifying. He continues his training, unfazed by the small cut, a true testament to his insane endurance. Ijin is relentlessly pushing his limits, preparing for whatever comes next, and honestly, it's intimidating. Ijin lets out a groan, clearly still exhausted, but he hears a voice. It's Yoon. Yoon asks if he can come in, and our boy just straight up says yeah, no hesitation. He's looking at her, and she's got this heart on her sweatshirt. What is happening? Yoon asks if the people who saved him last time were his comrades, and Ijin confirms they were. She asks him to make sure they're okay, and he thanks her, a little awkward but sweet. Yoon's got a serious look, and honestly, she's kinda cute when she's concerned. Ijin's face is unreadable, but he's definitely processing what she just said. Something's up. He's back to training, pushing his limits, but it's clear Yoon is on his mind. Ijin's eyes narrow. He's thinking about his past, about the people he needs to protect. This dude is a total beast, switching between caring and cold so fast, no way. Yoon tells Ijin she lost consciousness when she was kidnapped, and bro is listening intently. She explains someone untied her after a few moments, and this person told her just one thing. They said they'd take her to her brother, but she remembers the guy being super stern when he spoke. But she wasn't scared at all, and she didn't even see his face because he put a blindfold on. However, the people escorting her were super careful to make sure she was comfortable. Weird flex, but okay. They took her to the car, and even though they didn't say a word, they were surprisingly gentle. She's finishing the story and Ijin is just processing, trying to piece everything together. Ijin's face is stone cold and you can tell he's already formulating a plan. This dude doesn't mess around. Yoonyoung's still talking, but Ijin's mind is miles away, clearly thinking about who kidnapped her and why. Our boy is back to training and honestly, he's a machine, shutting out everything to focus on the mission. Ijin's totally focused, reviewing the intel. 3 people were hit simultaneously in different countries, straight up insane. The general explains everything happened at once, and Ijin's expression is unreadable, like he's already 3 steps ahead. Yoonyoung offers Ijin a shore when he asks if she's okay, but bro is clearly not buying it, something's still off. Ijin's thinking hard and we get a glimpse of his face. He's piecing things together, connecting the dots, no way. He's remembering his training, blocking out everything else, and honestly, this dude is a weapon, pure and simple. The general is giving orders and the scene shifts to a shadowy figure receiving them, definitely a bad sign. We see the figure confirming the hit was successful and it's clear they're connected to Yoonyoung's kidnapping, huge reveal. Ijin's face is serious as he looks at Yoonyoung and she's watching him with a questioning look. The tension is real. He's asking her about the person who said they'd take her to her brother, and she describes him as stern but not scary. She says the people escorting her were surprisingly gentle, which is weird, but Ijin's already onto something, you can tell. The general is getting a report. Mad Dog tried to take down the numbers but failed, and it's a warning. The general orders them to keep a close eye on the numbers. This dude is not messing around. Ijin's walking through the school and he looks totally focused, like he's already planning his next move. He spots Yoonyoung and her friends and something's definitely off. He's zeroing in on them. Ijin's questioning Yoonyoung, trying to get more details about the man who was with her, and she seems confused. She describes the man as stern but not scary, but Ijin's already connecting it to the numbers. He's quick, bro. Yoonyoung mentions the people escorting her were surprisingly gentle, which raises even more red flags for Ijin. Ijin is putting the pieces together, realizing something doesn't add up, and honestly, this is where things get intense. He's recalling his training, blocking out the noise, and preparing for whatever's coming next. This dude is a machine. Ijin's expression is stone cold, and he's staring directly at Yoonyoung, clearly suspecting something's up with her too. Ijin's questioning Yoonyoung and her friend, pressing for details about the escort, and Yoonyoung straight up flinches. Someone's watching them from afar and they're totally focused on Ijin, creepy vibes for sure. Watcher is revealed to be a woman with long dark hair, and she looks seriously concerned about Ijin. She's remembering a past conversation with Ijin's dad, where he warned her about Ijin's dangerous potential. She thinks Ijin is heading for trouble, and she's right. Our boy is a magnet for chaos. She asks if this is just another day for Ijin, but she's clearly worried about what's coming next. Okay, so things are heating up. Our boy and his crew are straight up sprinting through the school. They're booking it and the word dash is flashing. They're clearly trying to escape something big. Everyone's moving fast, a blur of jackets and determination. Honestly, it's intense. This dude's got a serious look on his face, leading the charge. He's not messing around. They're pushing through the hallways, yelling for people to move faster, and it's a total rumble. The sunlight streaming in, making it look like a chase scene from an action movie, no way. Then someone stops them cold. A woman asks about his fiancé, which is a weird flex. She's giving off major side eye, and it's clear she's not thrilled with the topic of conversation. However, she cuts the questioning short. If they're here to talk about that, they're getting kicked out. Another woman's there looking unamused, and honestly, this whole situation is awkward AF. She claims she just stopped by to see him, but bro, that feels super sus right now. She straight up asks if he's enjoying his normal life, wondering how it feels to be out of the company. The other woman gives a simple "oh," but her expression says she's not buying any of it. She says all her inner turmoil is gone now, which feels like a total lie, honestly. The woman in white seems relieved to hear that, but something about her is off. She chuckles, sipping her tea, but it's a really creepy, unsettling laugh, no way. Her face suddenly flinches, and it's clear she's reacting to something or someone. She claims she has no idea what's going on, but her expression screams she's hiding something. The woman in white stares intensely, and the other woman looks absolutely terrified. She asks what's with the face, and honestly, it's about to hit the fan big time. She asks about Seoha Cha, and our boy's mom straight up admits she already knew about her. Then she drops a bomb. Sophia, a recent visitor, also seemed interested in him. What? Sophia is revealed to be Andrew Vore's daughter, and our boy's mom casually says it's good he hasn't confessed yet. She's totally playing mind games and it's stressing him out. She doesn't think he deserves love. But then, a flashback, we see Seoha and Sophia both clearly checking out our boy at the same time. Another flashback shows a blonde guy chatting with Seoha while she glances over at him. It's all connected. His mom's still talking and she's so smug about it, like she's got everything planned out. She says he doesn't deserve to have feelings for anyone, and honestly, that's a wild take. But then, a close-up on a different guy. He's looking right at our boy with a really intense gaze. He's got a determined look on his face, and it's clear this dude is about to make things complicated. She's reeling from her mom's words, and honestly, it's a lot to unpack. We get a close-up on the mysterious guy. He's been watching our boy, and he's got a serious look. His mom's still working, but she's clearly thinking about everything, and she seems unhappy. Guy starts walking, and his pace is quick. He's definitely going to confront our boy, no doubt. She's leaving work looking defeated, and bro, the sunset is making it even more dramatic. He's thinking about his time abroad, and it's hitting him that he might have a girlfriend back home. She's walking down the hall looking totally bummed. This day is just getting worse and worse. She's slumped over, and we see our boy in the background looking concerned. He's definitely noticing. The guy and his friend are walking, and they're getting closer to her, and it's straight up tense. He's talking about a possible girlfriend back home, but honestly, this is a terrible time to bring it up. She's staring intently at the computer screen. Ijin's match lost, and she looks seriously annoyed. She's absolutely focused on the game, but then she realizes Ijin is already seeing someone else. She's completely fixated on Ijin, and it's a little creepy, honestly. She's just staring. She sighs, looking defeated after the match, and you can tell she's really bummed about Ijin. She's still watching the screen, and her expression is unreadable. Is she jealous or just annoyed? She's lost in thought, and we get a close-up of her eye. This girl is hiding something for sure. Another guy walks into the scene looking concerned. He's definitely noticed the tension. He's clearly worried about something, and his expression is intense, like he knows what's up. She's still glued to the screen, and it's obvious she's obsessing over Ijin and his potential girlfriend. However, she's trying to play it cool, but her expression gives everything away. This is getting messy. This dude is losing it. He can't believe she's suddenly talking to Ijin after ignoring him all day. He storms over, ready to cause a scene, and straight up throws a fizzy drink at the table. Ijin just casually turns around, and the tension is insane. Our boy is about to get wrecked. Ijin says her name, and she looks up, shocked, like she didn't expect him to even know it. She's walking with Ijin now, and this other guy is not happy. He's fuming, honestly. He tries to play it cool, asking if everything's all right, but his face says otherwise. She gives a super vague answer, saying everything is fine, but her expression is totally off. The guy insists he saw her ignoring everyone, but she just brushes it off. She's a pro at dodging questions. However, he's not backing down. He flat out asks if she likes Ijin, and she says not at all. It's pouring rain as our boy stands outside the Byeok Sky Park Memorial, looking super somber. The rain is coming down hard, like a total downpour, creating this intense atmosphere. This dude is suited up, holding an umbrella, staring straight ahead. Bro is clearly deep in thought. Raindrops are sliding off the umbrella, and honestly, it just adds to the mood. He walks toward a wall of memorial niches, each holding a cremation urn. It's a memorial hall. He stops in front of one niche, gazing at the framed photo of an older man inside. It's a close-up of the photo, revealing the man's stern face. This is clearly someone important to him. But then a voice booms out, cold as ice. "You little brat, no way," who's yelling. The voice asks if he's going to keep living his life like this. Straight up, that's a loaded question. The man seems to be talking to the photo, like he's confronting his grandfather even in death. A woman approaches, asking if he's here for his grandpa's death anniversary. It's a bit awkward, honestly. He asks about Hyun-soo, and the woman replies everything's been the same for her. Super vague, right? He stares at her, totally unreadable, and for a second, it feels like she's the one being interrogated. Then, out of nowhere, he turns around and says he's leaving, talk about a cold exit. He walks away, but the woman calls out to him, asking if he's really just going to leave it at that. He stops but doesn't turn around, and it's clear this dude is holding back a whole ocean of emotions. The woman says she doesn't understand why he's so distant, but honestly, can you blame him? He finally responds saying he's just tired. It's a weak explanation, but it's all she gets. He starts walking again, and she's left standing there looking totally lost and confused. Our boy is officially gone, leaving the woman to wonder what's really going on, and we're all wondering too. He's walking away, and a man in a suit is rushing up. Looks like he's been waiting in the pouring rain, bro. The man asks if he's been waiting outside this whole time, telling him he should have stayed in the car. But then another man steps forward, straight up correcting him. He was the one waiting in the car. The first man smirks, looking down on the other. It's a super tense standoff, honestly. He's definitely judging the other man, and you can see the annoyance on his face. Our boy just looks on, totally unreadable. He's probably analyzing the situation, as usual. The man in the suit starts walking away, but not before giving the other guy a serious side-eye. But honestly, this dude had it coming. He totally misread the situation. The man turns to walk towards the car, and our boy is right behind him, still silent. They both get in the car, and it's clear this whole thing is way more complicated than it seems. The man in the suit is livid. He's yelling at someone about stealing a moped. Can you believe it? He's straight up calling the kid a brat, and it's clear he's not happy about this whole situation. He's ranting about how much mopeds cost and demanding to know what kind of kid steals one. It's intense. This dude is serious. He declares the kid will be punished, and it's not a threat, it's a promise. He's screaming that the kid will work at his shop to pay for the moped. No way this is going well. The kid just stares back, totally blank-faced, and honestly, it's kinda creepy. The man shouts that work starts tomorrow and warns the kid better not even think about running away. Cut to a shot of the police station. It's huge and imposing, and something tells me this is important. The man from the car is now yelling at someone, and it looks like a serious scolding is happening. But our boy is just watching, and you know he's already 10 steps ahead of everyone else. Okay, so our boy is back at the police station, looking completely unfazed by the chaos around him. He spots the old man from the moped shop sorting through trash. Talk about a fall from grace. Someone overhears the man complaining about the kid being slow, but our boy doesn't even flinch. He's thinking about the old man, and it's clear he's got a plan brewing, bro. Cut to a flashback. Our boy's trainer is pushing him hard, demanding he never give up, no matter what. Back in the present, he's driving, and you can tell he's remembering those lessons. This is about to get intense. He sees the old man out in the rain, still sorting trash, and something clicks. Our boy is not okay with this. He thinks the old man shouldn't be out there like that, but honestly, this dude brought it on himself. Our boy pulls over, and it's clear he's about to intervene. No way this ends well for the moped shop owner. He shouts at the old man to hurry up, and the tone, straight up threatening. This dude is not messing around. Our boy is straight up lecturing the old man about trash piling up. He needs to organize it now. A guy in a suit arrives with an umbrella, clearly concerned about the old man getting drenched. The old man recognizes the suited guy, thanking him for always helping, and mentions he was away on business. He explains he went to his hometown, but it feels like he's leaving something out. Something's off. The suited guy is not happy to hear this and looks ready to rip the old man a new one. But then the old man notices the suit getting wet and yells, worried about the damage. Our boy steps in, and he's not concerned about the suit. He wants to know what the old man is hiding. The suited guy is trying to brush it off, but our boy is relentless, demanding answers right then and there. The old man finally cracks, admitting he's been doing something he shouldn't. This is getting good. He confesses to running a secret operation, and our boy is definitely not thrilled about this reveal. The suited guy swings a punch, but our boy anticipates it and effortlessly dodges. Talk about reflexes. He counters with a swift strike, sending the guy stumbling backward with a thud, and a phone goes flying. This dude Hyunsu is straight up demanding better booze at the bar, acting like a total king. He's complaining to the owner, saying the employees need training and he deserves the good stuff. Hyunsu insists he gave the owner money last time, but things are clearly getting tense. The owner calls him out, saying he specifically told Hyunsu it would be the last time he borrowed money. Hyunsu is losing it, demanding to know why the owner won't help him out now after he begged. The owner just stares him down, looking completely unimpressed with this whole scene. Hyunsu's face is turning red. He's seriously about to explode. This is not going to end well. The owner finally speaks, simply calling Hyunsu by his name like a disappointed dad. The owner calmly sips his drink while Hyunsu continues to rant and rave, talk about a power move. Hyunsu keeps pushing, demanding money, but the owner is totally shutting him down. Hyunsu is screaming about helping other people when he won't even spot himself some cash. The audacity. The owner is straight up done, telling Hyunsu he knows exactly what's going on and won't fall for it. Hyunsu demands to know why the owner won't help him, after he supposedly helped the owner before. He explains he pays all his employees, saying they do all the work while he just makes sure they're taken care of. But the owner isn't buying it, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Hyunsu loses it, yelling about how the owner is helping everyone but him. Total meltdown. He's red in the face, practically frothing at the mouth, and looks like he's about to explode. The owner just stares him down, completely unfazed by the outburst, and it's kinda amazing. Then, with a single calm sentence, the owner shuts down the entire conversation. That's enough. And just like that, Hyunsu is silenced. Talk about a power move, our boy is officially defeated. Hyunsu is rambling about his grandpa always helping others, even when broke. It's a whole sob story. The owner hands Hyunsu his first paycheck and asks how it feels. It's a super awkward moment. Hyunsu stares at the money, then asks what's wrong with the owner. Total mood swing. He confesses he still owes money for the moped he stole and wonders why he's getting paid. The owner lets out a laugh and calls him out, asking if he thinks he'd make a kid do free labor. But Hyunsu's still not getting it, insisting the owner is just pretending to be nice. The owner calmly explains he pays his employees because they work, not out of pity. Ouch. Hyunsu tries to argue, but the owner cuts him off, saying he doesn't need an explanation. Then he drops a bomb. He knew Hyunsu was going to come asking for money. This dude sees everything. He says he's letting Hyunsu earn his money, and honestly, that's a savage burn. The owner tells Hyunsu he can come back for some cash whenever he needs it. That's all he'll do for him. Hyunsu's still confused and asks what's wrong, but the owner just wants him to leave. The owner straight up tells Hyunsu he's exhausted and wants him gone. No time for games. Hyunsu's buddy Spring bursts in looking for a fight, and the owner just sighs. Spring starts ranting about being wronged, but the owner is clearly unimpressed. This is getting messy. Spring's smile is terrifying, and he's clearly about to lose it. Our boy is in trouble. Spring lunges forward, but the owner casually steps aside, totally unfazed. What a pro. The owner sends Spring flying with a single move. No way, that was brutal. Spring crashes into the table, sending bottles everywhere, but the owner doesn't even flinch. The owner stands over Spring, completely unbothered. This dude is on another level. The owner is telling Spring to get out, but Spring's not having it. He's demanding answers. Spring questions why a student is even in a place like this, and the owner's about to lose his cool. Oh no, the owner swings and Spring tries to block, but it's not enough. The owner grabs Spring's wrist and it looks like it hurts, like a lot. Spring tries to fight back, but the owner just says enough and holds him down. The owner's buddy steps in, finally putting a stop to the chaos. Thank goodness. The owner's still furious, but he's clearly trying to de-escalate. He's a pro at this. He's telling Spring to apologize and get out, and honestly, he deserves it. Spring's fuming, but he backs down, muttering about how he'll get his revenge. Classic bully move. The owner sighs, clearly exhausted, and Spring storms off. What a mess. The owner is still laying down the law, telling Spring to just get out of there. No questions asked. Spring is straight up seething, clenching his fists, but he's backing down for now anyway. Suddenly, another guy walks in, and the owner immediately turns on him, demanding to know what he's doing there. This new dude, IG, is totally calm, like he owns the place, and the owner is not pleased at all. IG drops a bomb. He reminds the owner Spring mentioned wanting something expensive if it was his treat. The owner's eyes narrow, and he's clearly realizing Spring was setting him up. No way. IG casually mentions Spring didn't even know what he could have gotten, and the tension is insane. But here's the kicker, IG is totally playing the long game, and our boy Spring is right in the middle of it. So our boy's uncle Hyunsu is apparently handing over the family shop, and this other guy is straight up shocked. This dude immediately starts questioning if Hyunsu can even run the place, and it's clear he doesn't have faith. He's convinced Hyunsu will just sell the shop and blow the money on partying and gambling. Harsh, bro, harsh. Before anyone can argue, this guy literally lunges at Hyunsu, trying to attack him. No way. Hyunsu reacts instantly, dodging the attack and countering with a move that sends the guy reeling. This is why you don't mess with him. He's questioning what he can even do, but honestly, this dude had it coming and Hyunsu is clearly not playing around. The attacker keeps ranting about Hyunsu's lifestyle, but it's all talk. Hyunsu isn't backing down from a fight. Hyunsu just stares him down, silent and unmoving, and it's honestly terrifying. This dude is a straight-up menace. So our boy is getting arrested. Apparently, that fight escalated quickly. No way. Hyunsu's brother Urim is demanding our boy help cover their living expenses, straight up asking for money. But our boy insists he's saved enough for a care home and doesn't need their help. He's independent. Urim absolutely loses it, reacting with rage and a full-on terrifying scowl. Suddenly, Urim's phone rings, interrupting the tense standoff. Who could that be? It's Hyunsu calling, and Urim answers, looking suspicious and annoyed. Honestly, Hyunsu is inviting Urim to a party celebrating his new business. What's the catch? Urim sounds skeptical, questioning why Hyunsu is reaching out now after all this drama. Hyunsu explains he wants Urim to come, and this dude's face is just unreadable. However, something's definitely off. Urim is hiding something, and it's making our boy worried. Hyunsu is on the phone, sounding surprisingly calm, while Urim demands to know where he got the money. Urim's face is covered in blood, looking absolutely terrifying, and Hyunsu doesn't even flinch. Hyunsu says he's realized he needs to get his life together, and honestly, good for him. Urim is skeptical, asking really, like he doesn't believe a word of it. Hyunsu straight up invites Urim to join him, and this dude actually agrees. What a twist. Someone comments that Hyunsu seems to be in a good mood, and he just smirks back. It's unsettling. Hyunsu is checking his phone, looking thoughtful, and something is definitely brewing. Urim's face is all messed up, but he's trying to look cool. It's not working. Hyunsu is so composed, and Urim is clearly hiding something. The tension is insane. But whatever it is, Hyunsu is about to find out. This is getting intense. No way. A shady figure offers Urim a deal, stabs someone, and his massive debt of $400,000 gets wiped clean. Urim asks if it's really that simple, just stab this guy and walk away, and the man confirms it is. The man casually lights a cigarette while promising to deal with the rest after the stabbing. Smooth. He repeats the instructions, just do the stabbing, then he's free, and Urim finally agrees, yes sir. Urim clenches his fists, furious. He's trapped and blames Dushik for everything that's happened. This dude is spiraling, saying if Dushik hadn't messed with someone else, he wouldn't need this money. But here's the kicker, Seokbi would have never approached him for a loan in the first place. It's wild. Urim rages that his grandpa only cared about that orphan, not him, and even left the shop to him. He's clearly blaming everyone but himself, and honestly, it's kinda pathetic but also understandable. Urim's got this intense look, like he's resigned to his fate. This is gonna be messy. No way. Hyunsu's bodyguard asks if he's sure about going alone, and this dude is straight up suspicious. Hyunsu casually drops that he's only 15, and his bodyguard is just speechless, honestly. He explains he knows Hyunsu hates driving and is worried about him handling things himself. The bodyguard presses further. Is he planning on giving money to whoever is causing trouble? Hyunsu's bodyguard looks confused, like wait, what? The gears are turning in his head. He remembers Hyunsu withdrew cash earlier, and the other guys saw him at the bank. It's all clicking. The bodyguard smirks, realizing Hyunsu has a soft spot for Urim and has already done a lot for him. But he's shocked to hear Urim is trying to turn his life around and go honest. That's a twist. Hyunsu reveals Urim told him he finally realized he needs to get his act together. Wow. He says his grandpa would have been overjoyed, and honestly, that's a sweet moment. Hyunsu's driver is dropping him off, saying his goodbyes, and honestly, it's a little too sweet. Suddenly, a guy in a slick suit approaches Hyunsu and immediately asks what happened to his face. Ouch. This dude's got a serious glare, and he's clearly not happy about whatever went down earlier. No way. Hyunsu tries to brush it off, saying it's nothing, but the guy isn't buying it for a second. But then, the guy spots Club D in the background and realizes Hyunsu was definitely up to something. Okay, so our boy Ijin is officially working at a moped shop as a side hustle. Can you believe it? He's sweeping up outside when a sleek black car pulls up, looking super suspicious, and 3 guys pile out. These dudes march right inside and Ijin awkwardly bows, trying to play it cool like he belongs there. They head straight for the back office, and one of them is straight up grilling the shop owner about Ijin's employment. The shop owner points to Ijin and the lead guy pulls out what looks like a card, or maybe a weapon. He's holding it aimed right at Ijin, and honestly the tension is thick, bro. Lead guy sizes up Ijin, clearly recognizing something dangerous beneath the surface. Ijin keeps his head down, but you can tell he's totally assessing the situation, ready for anything. The lead guy drops a line about hearing Ijin is working there, but doesn't realize this is where he'd find him. But something tells me this isn't just a friendly visit, and our boy is about to be pulled back into a whole lot of trouble. The lead guy pats Ijin on the shoulder, offering a job him, but it feels super shady, like a threat disguised as an offer. He says they always have a spot for Ijin, and they hit him up if he changes his mind. Weird flex, right? Ijin just stares back, totally unreadable, while the guys start to leave and a ding echoes as the door opens. Ijin's looking at their backs, and bro is clearly not okay with whatever just happened. The shop owner asks what's going on, and Ijin reveals he borrowed money from this guy, but it wasn't a simple loan. The owner explains he had to find someone to give Ijin a private loan to help with cleaning up after Hyun Seol and the others. The interest rates are already skyrocketing, and the owner admits he had no idea things would get this bad. Ijin's face is stone cold, and he's clearly connecting the dots. This loan is part of something bigger. He's lost in thought, and honestly, this dude is about to unleash a world of pain on whoever's behind this. We get a quick shot of the storefront with signs for loans and payday flashing. It's a trap, I tell ya. This dude lays it all out. The business model is basically loan sharking, and the money comes right back to him. He claims it only needs a little startup cash, and it's been profitable since day one. Sounds legit, right? He's straight up saying they're making huge profits already, even without much conflict, and Ijin is starting to see the pattern. Ijin asks if this is how they treated Hyunsu, and bro, the tension is thick. You can cut it with a knife. Loan Shark just smirks and says it's just business, nothing personal. Like that makes it better, seriously. He casually drops that Hyunsu's debt is already over 40 million won, with a 30 million won principal. No way that adds up. Ijin's shocked, asking how Hyunsu could even be paying it off, and honestly, this is where things get really messy. The loan shark just stares back, a creepy grin spreading across his face. This dude is enjoying Ijin's reaction way too much. Ijin is absolutely fuming, and you know this guy is about to get a serious reality check for messing with his friends. But Ijin is holding back, playing it cool for now, and the loan shark is totally misreading the situation. Big mistake. Ijin's begging the loan shark to let Hyunsu off easy, playing the favor card. It's a long shot. The loan shark, Dushik, is unmoved, straight up saying he'd have to make an exception for everyone if he helps Hyunsu. Dushik claims making an exception would make it harder to do business, and honestly, he's not wrong. Ijin is looking for cash, thinking he can withdraw a month's rent to cover some of Hyunsu's debt. It's a desperate move. But Dushik is playing 4D chess, offering to give up the money if Ijin joins his crew. This dude wants our boy on his team. Ijin's face is unreadable, but Dushik is convinced he can recruit him, and the pressure is building. Ijin suddenly bows deeply, and for a second Dushik looks relieved. He thinks he's won. However, Ijin's posture is a warning sign, and Dushik is about to realize he made a huge mistake. Ijin explodes with force, sending Dushik flying back into his chair. This dude doesn't mess around. And honestly, Dushik had it coming because our boy is about to unleash a world of pain. Ijin's crew immediately jumps into action, and it's a brutal beatdown. No one is safe. The loan shark's goons are getting wrecked, but they're still swarming Ijin and his friends. Our boy is a whirlwind of fists and feet, taking down multiple guys at once. He's a machine. Ijin grabs a baseball bat and starts swinging, and honestly, it's a satisfying sight. Fight spills out onto the street, and it's absolute chaos. These guys clearly underestimated Ijin. But the loan shark's crew is massive, and Ijin's team is getting overwhelmed. Things are looking grim. Ijin looks around at the carnage, and you can tell he's not even close to being tired. This dude is relentless. He's systematically dismantling the entire operation, taking out goons with terrifying efficiency. Ijin's friends are holding their own, but they're clearly relying on him to carry the fight. However, Ijin's face is stone cold, and he's clearly got more tricks up his sleeve. This isn't over. Ijin suddenly collapses, clutching his chest. No way, he's bleeding out straight up on the street. He's fighting it, but the wounds are serious and his vision is blurring. This is bad, really bad. His friends rush to his side, trying to stop the bleeding, but it's a ton. They are freaking out. They get him into an ambulance and the scene is pure chaos. Everyone is panicking, and honestly, so am I. Cut to the hospital and Ijin's grandpa is hooked up to life support. It looks like he collapsed too. Ijin's mom is beside herself with worry, staring at her father in the hospital bed. It's heartbreaking. Dushik bursts in, demanding to know what happened. He looks shocked, but also kinda suspicious. Ijin's mom explains that grandpa just suddenly fainted, but something tells me there's more to the story. Dushik seems to be connecting the dots, realizing Ijin was attacked. This dude is starting to get it. He's completely furious, demanding to know who did this, but Ijin's mom just looks defeated and scared. Everyone's stunned, they're all asking what happened to Ijin and why he suddenly fainted out of nowhere. But then Dushik realizes something's off and demands to know who took our boy down. This is about to get real. Okay, so things are heated. This guy is accusing Dushik of trying to pull something, but Dushik is totally unfazed. But it turns out every time Dushik's sides hurt, he remembers what happened that day, and it's clearly messing with him. He straight up tells the guy he doesn't care, but then another dude steps in, asking if he's been doing well for himself. This dude is giving Dushik the side eye, and honestly, it's a little creepy, like he knows something. Dushik doesn't hold back. He calls the guy a douchebag thug, and it's a little harsh, but you kinda get it. Then another guy jumps in, asking who Dushik thinks he's talking to, and things are about to blow up for real. Dushik's getting bombarded with questions about how he's been doing, but the vibe is super tense, like it's a setup. He's sitting there looking all smug, but you can tell this whole situation is triggering some serious flashbacks for him. Dushik is clearly holding something back and the tension is thick. These guys are poking the bear big time. However, Dushik's expression is turning from cocky to dangerous, and I have a feeling someone's about to regret this. This dude is accusing Dushik of needing help from Hyensu to get things done, saying he lacks the guts to do it himself. Dushik is not having it. He calls this guy out for acting tough while covered in blood, straight up dissing him as a low-life thug. The guy asks what Dushik just said, and bro, his face is turning purple with rage. Things are about to pop off. No way. Dushik swings, and it's fast, catching this guy completely off guard. He grabs the guy's face, and honestly, it looks brutal. This dude is about to get wrecked. Dushik throws a haymaker, and the sound effect is huge thud. This guy is going down. Dushik straight up unleashing a whirlwind of fists, taking out multiple guys at once. It's chaos. He's pummeling one dude while simultaneously spinning and landing a knockout blow on another. Our boy is a machine. A guy tries to swing a metal pipe at Dushik, but he sidesteps and delivers a devastating kick to the chest. Dushik grabs a chair and starts using it as a weapon, smashing it into anyone who gets close. This is getting brutal. He's dodging attacks left and right, then counters with a vicious knee strike, and honestly, they deserve it. Guy with a bat swings, but Dushik grabs his wrist and twists it, sending him crashing down. No mercy from our boy. Dushik's getting covered in blood, but he doesn't even flinch, just keeps fighting with cold precision. He throws a punch that connects with a satisfying POW, sending another guy flying. Dushik is a beast. This dude tries to sneak up on Dushik, but he anticipates it and delivers a brutal smack to the back of his head. Dushik's absolutely dismantling everyone, and the whole scene is just a red, chaotic mess, straight up carnage. Dushik is getting swarmed, but he's still standing, taking a beating like it's nothing. What a tank. He's reeling, getting punched in the face repeatedly, and someone's saying he's stronger than they thought. But the guy saying that immediately regrets it as Dushik unleashes a furious counterattack. Boom. Dushik's fists are flying, and he's connecting with every single punch, sending guys sprawling. It's brutal. He's a whirlwind of destruction, and the onlookers are realizing they massively underestimated him. Oops. Dushik is getting seriously roughed up, covered in blood, but he doesn't even seem to notice the pain. Another guy tries to land a hit, but Dushik just grabs his hand, and the guy's arm snaps, no joke. He's throwing hands so fast it's a blur, and the others are getting wrecked, straight up demolition. One of the guys is yelling that Dushik is too strong for them all, questioning their chances, too late now. Dushik's still getting hit, but he's barely flinching, and honestly, he looks more annoyed than hurt. Dushik is absolutely covered in blood, but he's still standing and breathing heavily. This dude is a monster. He grabs another attacker by the collar and just snaps his arm. No way, that was fast. Dushik's fists are a blur, connecting with multiple opponents at once, sending bodies flying, total chaos. One of the guys tries to reason with Dushik, asking if he's really going this far, but it's too late for apologies. He's still taking hits, but Dushik just grabs another attacker's hand, and you can hear the bones break. The remaining guys start to panic, realizing they've seriously messed with the wrong person, and honestly, they should have known. One dude screams that Dushik is a psychopath, but our boy doesn't even react, he's just focused on the fight. A guy charges with a blade, thinking he can get the drop on Dushik, but he's way too slow. Dushik anticipates everything. Dushik disarms him with ease, then delivers a brutal punch that sends the guy crashing into the others, straight up demolition. The remaining thugs are scattering, trying to escape, but Dushik isn't finished. He's still coming for them. Dushik unleashes a massive punch, sending one attacker flying with a huge POW, no messing around. He snatches a metal pipe from another guy, turning the weapon against the remaining thugs. Instant karma. Dushik's eyes glow red as he prepares to strike, and you can see the pure rage building inside him. It's intense. He swings the pipe, splattering blood everywhere, and honestly, these guys really thought they could win. Another attacker rushes in, trying to land a hit, but Dushik counters with a devastating KAPOW, total shutdown. This dude grabs Dushik's bloodied hand, attempting to disarm him, but our boy just crushes his grip. Ouch. Dushik swings again with the pipe, hitting another attacker with a brutal BAM. It's a relentless assault. He connects with a vicious smack that sends a guy reeling, completely stunned. Dushik isn't holding back. One of the thugs tries to scramble away, but Dushik is too fast, closing the distance with a menacing game over. Dushik is relentless, and the remaining attackers are realizing they made a huge mistake. They are outmatched. Dushik finishes off the last attacker with a final, brutal swing. No survivors, bro. He stands there, drenched and furious, but the job is done. Our boy is making a delivery, a seemingly normal gig, but he's carrying a bag with a teddy bear on it. He arrives at the drop-off, but immediately gets a bad vibe, realizing this isn't a simple delivery at all. Inside, it's a straight-up bloodbath. People are down, and someone is seriously injured. It's intense. He's trying to assess the situation and help, but he's covered in blood, and honestly, this dude had it coming. A boss-looking guy arrives with his crew, demanding to know who the delivery boy is. Talk about intimidating. The boss is furious, but our boy just stares him down, completely unfazed by the threats and angry mob. The boss tries to intimidate him further, but our boy doesn't flinch, and the boss looks genuinely surprised. The boss delivers a cold line about bad luck and how life is, but it's clear he's underestimated our boy. The boss's crew is all tense, and our boy casually adjusts his helmet, hinting at what's about to go down. He's got tattoos on his arm, ready to go, and the vibe is completely different now. Things are about to explode. Our boy explodes into action, moving so fast he's a blur. It's a whirlwind of fists and fury. He's taking down the whole crew one after another, and it's brutal. Blood is flying everywhere, no joke. The boss is shocked, trying to figure out what's happening, but he's completely outmatched, straight up. Our boy's movements are precise and deadly, disabling opponents with swift strikes. He's a machine. He's taking hits, but they barely seem to register. This dude's pain tolerance is unreal, honestly. The boss screams for his men to get him, but they are already down or too scared to move. It's chaos. He's moving so fast, it's like a red streak cutting through the room, a total demolition derby. The remaining thugs try to swarm him, but our boy anticipates every move, deflecting attacks with ease. He finishes off the last of the crew with a devastating sweep, sending bodies flying. No one stands a chance. He's standing over the wreckage, helmet still on, and the air is thick with tension. This is his territory now. He's grabbing the boss's lackey, stopping him from getting back up. No mercy, honestly. The boss tries to rush our boy but gets a face full of fist. A brutal thud echoes. He's walking through the carnage, a dark figure amidst all the fallen bodies. It's intense. We get a look at the boss's second in command, looking smug with a cigarette. Big mistake. This other guy looks worried, and you can tell he knows things are about to go south. He's right. The boss lunges again, thinking he can catch our boy off guard. However, he's dodging like a pro. He unleashes another attack and it connects. Kaw-pow. That's gonna hurt straight up. The boss is getting wrecked, but he's still trying to fight back, stubborn much. Our boy grabs the boss's arm, twisting it, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's got a firm grip and the boss is looking seriously panicked. This is the end for him. He's slamming the boss into a table and it's brutal. This dude is getting absolutely destroyed. The boss is reeling, completely overwhelmed, but he's still trying to fight back, stubborn much. Our boy delivers another blow and the boss goes down hard. It's a clean knockout, no way. He's already moving, a blur of motion, and takes out the last of the goons, efficiency at its finest. He's spinning, landing a kick and sending another guy flying. This dude is a whirlwind of destruction. Another guy tries to attack, but our boy anticipates it, dodging and countering with a swift strike. He's got another guy pinned and it looks painful. Seriously, he's not messing around. He's delivering a series of rapid-fire blows and the guy is completely defenseless. It's relentless. Boss is trying to get up, but our boy is right there, stomping down, no chance of recovery. He's standing over the defeated boss, looking absolutely menacing. This is his territory and everyone knows it. He's casually lighting another cigarette, looking down at the mess, straight up ice cold. He tells the remaining goon he's screwed, and honestly, he is no way out now. The goon asks what the heck is going on, but our boy just smirks. It's a terrifying sight. He explains this kid is beyond anything these thugs can handle. This is a different level of threat. Our boy flashes a chilling grin, teeth bared. This dude is not playing around. Everything goes red, a blur of motion. It's happening so fast you can barely see it. The guy gets launched through the air, crashing into everything. Total chaos erupts. Another goon goes flying and it's brutal. This is a massacre, seriously. He's standing over the bodies, completely unfazed. This dude is a monster. The scene is drenched in blood and it's horrifying, but our boy just walks away. Someone recognizes the bar, Dushix, and it instantly clicks for the guy, and honestly, it's bad news. Suddenly, the door to the bar explodes inward, and a whole crew of suited-up thugs storms in, talk about making an entrance. They're rushing toward our boy, weapons raised, but he's already moving, dodging and weaving through the chaos, smooth as always. He takes down the first few goons with brutal efficiency, a whirlwind of kicks and punches. They don't even see it coming. More thugs swarm him, but he's a one-man army, taking them down left and right. It's a complete beatdown. One of the guys tries to get a lucky shot in, but our boy anticipates it, grabs his arm and uses his momentum against him. Ouch. The main guy, the one who got roughed up earlier, is still sitting there, watching the carnage unfold. He looks absolutely terrified. Someone asks if he's okay and says they need to get him to the hospital, but he just waves them off. This dude is tough. He's bleeding from the face, but he's lighting a cigarette like it's no big deal, straight up ice in his veins. Close up on his face, bruised, bloody, but with a chillingly determined look. This is a man who's seen too much.